if it's not Sparring Ring that starters, it's either Mausoleum or Buster. So that's no surprise for me on that one.
Let's see what they're bringing here. Looks like B&B versus Lollapop.
To be fair, it's nice to see Bind Bark coming out every now and then, but Lola is definitely a common appearance.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think, like, I think I was looking at the Switchfest bracket again the other day, and I think they're, like, out of a 20-ish person bracket, a quarter of them were Lollapops.
Yeah.
For some reason, like, a very complex character is one of the most played in the game.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to think about, like, why, because I remember when I first started playing her, the reason I started playing her was because cute. I didn't have any idea about what was going on in the game, but it looks like Spike has a perfect mastery of this character right now. Gonna rock the Birdchuck and the Coolerang, a very ice set.
A very ice set, but falling foul to not one but two grabs from Nurse, who's coming in with that Tri-Bolt, so perfect for the stun opportunities, and a good old-fashioned slap and landing.
Alright, Spike is gonna get the freeze here, gonna go for some rush mix-ups, and is gonna break shield. Not gonna do a ton more than that though, only 75 plus some chip, and does give Nihilus his rush.
Yeah, but at the same time, Nihilus is the one who goes into critical first, so if they can just land a couple more punches, that'll be all they need, but we know how Nihilus will go. It'll just take a stun or two to just throw Spike off their game.
Oh, he's gonna go for his rush right here. He is gonna land, starting with the Tri-Bolt, and does get the Mander to land. Kind of tricky sometimes, no matter how confirmed that rush is, and catches the Super Dash with the Tri-Bolt.
Yeah, that Tri-Bolt was spot on the money there, and that's gonna give Spike that first point. So that's why we always are like, it doesn't always matter if you're the first one down into critical condition, because we've seen people just easily fight back from there.
Yeah, true. It seems like if someone has their rush, getting out of, like, red is not necessarily the hardest thing in the world. I mean, you do have, like, 500 damage at your disposal. And right now, Spike is going to go for his rush, gets 310 damage, starting with the Dragon and leading into the Birdchuck.
And it's going to be where Nils will have to be a little bit more careful, because obviously, if you allow the Dragon to just keep at this kind of range, it'll slow you down, and it'll do as much damage as possible before you have a chance to even get back on your feet. Just like that.
Yeah, you really have to rush down the Dragon, which is kind of a hard thing to do as B&B, since he doesn't have as many offensive tools as most characters do. A lot of his tools are just kind of staying in place or letting the dog fight for you, so it's really a matter of, like, how good are your insta-counter skills, or how good are your rushing skills. That's going to knock Spike down for 240. Now it's going to get a little bit of an approach, but it's going to opt to stay on the dog for the most part. And knocked down by the Birdchuck as soon as he gets a couple bounces off.
And the second bite is down. Lola just took immediate advantage and took Bark out of the equation as well. Rush, unfortunately, didn't do much damage, just mostly chip. Arm is weak on the right side if they can at least land a couple more hits, but it fades away.
Nihilus' biggest advantage right now is his positioning, though. Like, he's doing so well at staying at this really awkward angle where the Birdchuck has to rely on the homing, but because it, like, homes to where you were, not where you are right now, he's doing a really good job of just dashing to the side and making sure he's out of the way of both of those arms. And because of his positioning, he's going to get a good grab off. Both of them have rush. Nihilus' will kill if it lands.
And it does. No rush this time for Spike, and a nice cheeky slap right at the end. Grab just a little high.
Nihilus is looking for the kill shot right now. He's got his rush. Spike has very few options right now. Back into the back wall. Does get a hit off with the Birdchuck, but it might not be enough if he's not able to escape this deadly corner. Nihilus coming in. Not going to burn his rush quite yet. Might be looking for some kind of grab. Fish doesn't need it. Once again, uses the Tri-Bolt to punish a Super Dash.
Yeah.
And that is going to be it for Spike in Game 1.
Yeah, very back and forth match from start to finish. But in the end, it's Nihilus with that bolt just catching Lola on the way down, and that's going to start off well for them. But they'll need to be a bit careful, because it took them a while to deal with the Dragon since they did lose that second point. But once they knew what they were doing, it slowly started to build for them.
Yeah, I think Nihilus' best trait there was he assessed exactly what side he needed to be on to be able to punish both of those arms. Because, I mean, usually when you're playing in this game, so your opponent has a weaker side, quote unquote, unless they're running like double glove, in which case they have no weaknesses and you're screwed. But Nihilus realized that if he gets on the side of the Burchuck, the Dragon's not going to be able to go all the way over there, and the Burchuck does not have as good homing outward as it has inward. So he had a really, really good position there, and Buster's ring around the rosy totally let him get into that positioning.
Yeah, it's one of those stages where you do need to be aware, especially if you're pinged into the corner, because at that point your opponent has like a couple of different ways that you're probably going to go, and you don't have much space to really play with. As we see them lock into Temple Grounds, they're going to stick with the B&B versus Lola setup. Are they going to make adjustments to arms?
Looks like Nihilus actually traded off that Tri-Bolt that got him a ton of pokes and kills. That's a little bit of an odd choice. I think he switched it for... It's either the Roaster wasn't there or the Whammer wasn't there. I'm not sure which, but interesting trade-off. I wonder what he's going for.
I mean, especially with Temple Grounds as well. It's an odd one, because it's like, yes, the pillars are there, but once the pillars are down, you would think the bolt would still be quite handy.
Right, yeah, it's especially like on this bottom section, there's no pillars down there, so if he got Spike trapped down there, it would be hard for him to navigate his way out. I am honestly kind of wondering what that change is supposed to do. Right now, though, they're playing a lot of pillar games. Spike throwing his boomerang right through that pillar, getting a hit down on Nihilus, and now retreating to the next one. Gonna just play in between all of them.
And so far, it's taken the most hits, because once again, it's like, with Lola, she's got a good setup here. She's got the Rang to help around those pillars and just create a lot of nuisance, and then you've still got the Dragon, which, if Lola has the range, she'll easily just fire it off, and down goes Bark again.
Yeah, is there a single second in this match that Nihilus doesn't have arms damage? Oh my gosh! Bite and Bark gonna be able to navigate around. Not gonna be able to confirm his rush. Somehow Spike fell out of the glove rush, but still did make sure that he didn't get hit, and sometimes that's more important than actually ending your own rush.
Oh, exactly. Him. So much apologies. 20 seconds to go as another freeze connects on Nihilus. And...
Oh, Nihilus, hold your shield button, buddy! I know you don't want to take the grab, but just, like, don't... Oh, good grab on his own end. Is he going to have time to bring this back? He needs to get 2 knockdowns.
Yep,
oh, he's fishing a little bit hard. A little bit too hard of a fish there.
Yeah.
This round's going to go to Spike. Nihilus could build up a little bit of rush. Is only a couple punches away, but... kind of dropped the ball there at the end of the round.
Yeah, he needed at least a grab and then maybe a poke afterwards to at least even that up, but just sometimes it's moments like those, it's the smallest of margins that can sometimes be the difference between landing and, well, that.
Nihilus, you freaking sneaky butt. Because he was slowed down because of the ice, he couldn't get the confirm off of Bark punching the shield, but he so went for it there, and now he's going to go for his rush, gets 295 off of it, and is setting up a Bark confirm, I think, with that charge.
Yeah, it was well played from Giannis, and here comes Spike, gonna come in with the bounce, but nope, telegraphed up. Oh, not only telegraphed, but punished with a nice, cheeky little slap.
Yeah, because there was no Dragon Beam on him and it couldn't drag into him, he was totally able to get a slap up. Does kind of slip off of Bark right there, but he's unfazed, and Spike is now down to this last little bit of his health. Nihilus is going to get another rush up this round. He might just elect to save it, though, considering, yeah, his health lead is pretty dominant.
Yeah, there's no point throwing in the rush when you've got that big of a health lead, so one apiece as we go into that final point.
Spike is halfway to his rush right now. The only thing he really needs to do is camp out, and considering his arms right now, that shouldn't be too hard of an issue. Oh, gets a good Bark hit right there, and confirms with a slap afterwards, putting a lot of pressure on Spike's shield, and confirms into another rush. He's punishing these super dashes so well. I think Spike might be panicking a little bit in these close range situations, because he doesn't really have arms that keep up at the speed Nihilus can go right now.
They're not also able to properly punish on top of the freezes that they do land, so Nihilus just sort of like standing there with shields up, and Spike just sort of like back retreating, not really doing much with it. And another grab comes out.
Really good read right there. Just saw Spike wasn't planning on flinching anytime soon. And I mean, with his loadout, it makes sense. And Nihilus gets another freaking rush punish. I think Spike gave up.
I think Spike's given up, just standing there, yeah.
I'd be a little demoralized too after getting slap on the butt after slap on the butt like that.
And with that, Nihilus will take a 2-0.
Yeah, well played by Spike, though. I mean, he took, I think, 1 round apiece off of both of those games. It was definitely closer than the score suggests.
Yeah. And I think that's sometimes what it comes down to when you look back at the tournament bracket and it's like, oh, you won 2-0. It's like, well, they still went 2-1 on each of those matches. And, you know, Spike did take the lead initially in this one. So, but Nihilus was able to just sort of like step back a little bit, realize what kind of style that they're playing with. And obviously, you know, the 2 stages are very different. Buster Beach and Temple Grounds are very different stages by default. So it's like just getting used to, you know, the new layout. The pillars, obviously, you know, the Coolerang and Ice Dragon are a decent combo whilst the pillars are still up. But turns out we didn't really need to worry about them. Switching out the Tri-Bolt works beautifully for them in the end.
Yeah, I think the slap covered a lot of the same things that the Tri-Bolt was covering. Because, I mean, a lot of the way he was using it was to cover Super Dash. And if you just have a big old punchy glove in their face when they're super dashing, it doesn't really matter because it's still a punchy glove in their face.
Exactly. We're about to move on to other things, so we're just going to noom up some updates. Shady beat Yoshi Bowser 2-0, and we had another 2-0 in the form of Aloria beating Yam, which that's surprising to me. Yeah, that's a massive surprise for me because normally Yam is consistently getting the better of Aloria, and suddenly it's 2-0 in the opposite direction. That's a very big shock actually. So it means that they will drop down into the underground bracket. Remember, this is a double elimination tournament, so they're not out yet. Everybody gets 2 life. Everybody gets an additional life, essentially. So, but once you've lost that second match, then you're out. So they won't start fighting just yet until we hear word from what's happening elsewhere. Cosleen and Okarim and Grimwood and Panther are still fighting, so we can at least confirm the latter 2 matches in round 2, which are Yada versus Nihilus and Riffa versus Aloria, which is it's good to see Riffa back.
Yeah, I'm almost scared for Aloria because of that though, because he just got a massive win on Yam there, and then you have to go fight EU's dominant dragon player.
Yeah.
The sneaky ninja himself. Godspeed, Aloria, God bless you.
Especially when Riffa were like, yeah, I'm stepping away from tournament stuff, but then suddenly 2 weeks later, I'm back.
Yeah, and they show up in your bracket. Like, great, cool, thanks for showing up now of all times.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Hebby, what's going on? Hebby, okay, that's what's going on, huh? Hebby, I love you, but why you gotta do me like this?
Oh, hello. That is bad. It's good to see people just chilling out in chat, it's great. I mean, I said I will probably still... Yeah, Riffa just in the chat as well, just been like, I still play tournaments every now and then, and it's like, yeah, that's fair.
Oh, God bless that the tournament... Well, God bless the tournaments I play in are mostly North American, because Riffa, if I had you in my bracket, I think I would be, well, let's just say I might need to invest in some adult diapers.
Oh, come on. It wouldn't go that bad.
No, when was the last time you saw me play? Most of the time, I'm just running, like, dumb sets to pair with Parabola in some kind of attempt to prove that it's good.
So what you're saying is that you normally fight Slacks for the Comedy Award.
That's true. A lot of I'm not even trying to. I'm just picking my set that I like. People are like, hey, that's a good joke. And I'm like, I just like this arm. What's wrong with that?
We have news that Koslina has beaten Okarim in a 2-1 match, so we've had our first match to go that went to point 3, which is always nice to see. So Koslina will face off against Iceman, which we've seen again quite a lot in recent weeks. We're just waiting on results on Grimwood versus Panther, and then we can continue on to round 2.
Alright, let me see if I can kind of see where they're at right now. Navigating through arena chats, though, that I haven't been in for a while. I was just clicking that mark red and scrolling for my life.
Yep, pretty much.
Alright, looks like...
Okay.
Looks like they've started their next match here.
Yep. So
Alright,
I'm half
should bring it in.
Yeah, I'm half tempted to... Oh, there you go. I was literally going to just say I was half tempted just to type into Stream Arena to see if we could just get like a stream, a next match going, and somebody immediately went, yeah, Riff versus Loria.
Oh well, I hope you're ready, Aloria. I hope you're ready to lose momentum potentially, or show that you have the momentum right now and the mental fortitude to bring this on back.
I mean, it would be great to see it happen if that were the case.
God, the way my mind works right now, I just call it a comeback before the match has even started. God, I have
like,
faith in
how
you,
could
Aloria,
you?
I promise.
How
I'm
could
sorry,
you do that?
I believe in you, Aloria, I promise. Oh God, can't wait for the twit longer about commentator bias after this one.
It's still early days, but like I said, these are best of 3 matches. And I should also probably point out, for those of you who are, again, new to this tournament, how the matches themselves work. Essentially, it's a 1-2-1 ban system, basically. So, you know, one person bans 1, next person bans 2, and essentially the last ban decides which stage we play on. And then, after every point after that, we then include counter picks onto this. So the 5 starter stages are Sparring Ring, Buster, Mausoleum, DNA Lab, and Ground. The 2 counter picks are Via and Scrap, so you won't see them until after point 1. And guess what? We're going back to the temple, and we're coming back with another Lola.
And another bird chuck on that Lola as well. Gonna have a Scorpio here. Looks, I haven't seen the Scorpio played in a long time, actually. I think the only, oh wow, starting off with a pineapple grab. Rifa gonna start off very strong.
Oh wow!
And then grab to punish the bounce.
Rifa,
Very good showing right here.
For a second I thought Rifa was just gonna go for the only grab strategy in their first tournament back, but no, it's they're done with that immediately. But look at this damage output that they're doing here. Just dragon lasers, then the blast explodes, and it's like before you even know it, Aloria is almost at critical.
Yeah, Riff has been employing the strat of getting ice chains with Dragon, the thing that doesn't make any sense but still happens all the time. Aloria is trying to look for some way in, but unfortunately, honestly, I think the thing that's holding him back the most right now is his lack of range. I mean, in arms, of course. Lack of range is not really a thing, but the Scorpio doesn't go all that far out from you, not nearly the same distance as like a bird or a ring does. It's almost more similar to one of the Rams in that regards. But Aloria is going to recognize this, tries to go for a parry against the rush, actually does knock down one of the bolts, but the flurry starts coming and it doesn't stop coming. And now Rifa has got a knockdown on Aloria in the back wall here.
Yeah, finally gets a freeze. Yeah. Aloria opted to go double chuck, which is always nice to see, especially with the fact that the chucks do have 2 ways of throwing as well. So it's essentially you could have both go the same the same attack path, or you could just mix it up.
Yeah, if you do 1-1 right before you land, like that's a good way to cover almost every option that's thrown at you. The only issue is going to be Rifa has got that slap out now, which is going to just curve around those chucks unless they have the proper trajectory. Both of them are going for the rush. Aloria is going to come out on top. I'm a little bit surprised at that, honestly. I thought the Tri-Blast would be a little bit quicker, but it's going to come out in his favor. But he's back into the red. Rifa's getting him pushed up against the back wall, just choosing to shield and teleport around these chucks, trying to find some kind of poke with the Tri-Blast, and confirms with the slap.
Yeah, pretty much one more hit. Looks like all Rifa needs. Nope, there it is.
Ooh, there we go.
And Rifa will take that first point in a nice 2-0.
Aloria did do a lot better though with the double bird chuck. I mean, who can be surprised? A double chuck is a very good set no matter how you put them together, whether it's 2 bird chucks, 2 fun chucks, or 1 of each.
Yeah,
that thing is scary to face.
Yeah, 1 of each is actually quite nice as well, because it's like if the freeze doesn't slow you down, the stun sets you up for a grab. So it's like, yeah, you've got so many different ways to be able to do the chucks, and obviously the chucks are they're good arms in general. So it's like, but yeah, unfortunately it was nice to see them come out with the Scorpio, but you can't really do much with it, and it's like it's a very situational arm, much like how the Scully is. Like, you know, the Scully is very quick and light, but at the same time it's the lightest arm in the game. It's a very situational use arm.
Right. I think the main issue that Scorpio was having was the fact that, oh, good thing it does is in the crawly mode is shield pressure, but Rifa is Ninjara. What the heck is shield pressure?
And they're gonna. Right, Ninjara is coming up with a completely different arm setup.
Looks like Aloria has made quite a bit of difference as well. It's going to be going into this with a set I don't think I've ever seen played in conjunction. Going to have a Chakram and a Parasol with Rifa's Lockjaw and Popper.
Yeah, they've both. So basically, it's like, yeah, they've both got the same characters, but they have vastly different loadouts.
Yeah, this is going to play a lot different, especially on DNA. What Aloria is going to for is pitting up against the wall. I mean, that is what you want on Dia anyways, but especially with this set, you have a good option to poke through Ninjara's shield, and potentially Ninjara could teleport back into the Parasol itself, where the Chakram is going to be able to clean up any unsafe movements Rifa does. Not if Rifa pops his rush though, but Aloria able to shield in time, snaps back instantly, tries to land a Parasol out of it, but Rifa ready with the popper. One of the best light arms in the games at poking quick little movement options like that.
Aloria had a little bit of hesitation whilst they tried to get themselves into position to fire off on the rush properly, and it was immediately stopped by Rifa, so both with no uses out their rush, and the lockjaw projectile again rinsing through Aloria, and that rush is going to easily confirm.
Yeah, well, the one thing I really love that Rifa is using the lockjaw not really as a punish tool, but more of a prediction tool. Usually when you see people use a heavy arm, they kind of use it to clean it up any unsafe movement that the opponent is doing. But he uses it to try to, like, cut off the pass. Rifa is switching off the popper over to the Chakram. Interesting switch. I kind of like the popper in conjunction a little bit better, honestly. But Rifa is using it in very good ways. He's making sure that Aloria doesn't have any room to move whatsoever. There's just one little safe zone. And I think if he curves the headlock missile and the face the other way, he might be able to cover that zone too.
Yeah, so far it's just projectile pressure. It's like, never mind just attacking with like all of the pressure in the world. It's like every single time the lockjaw fires charge, it fires off that fireball, and that's what seems to be hitting Aloria first out of everything else, and the rush is just going to get the KO from here. Oh no, it doesn't. Still just about.
Yeah, Rifa missed the lockjaw projectile there. If he landed it, it probably would have been a bunch of damage, but not able to confirm it. And Aloria is only going to get 100 damage on the rush. That homie sure did try to make its way over, but it didn't quite. And now Aloria is down to Magic Pixel. Bounces into the lockjaw missile. Didn't go for a bounce cancel. I think Aloria just kind of got stuck right there. And that is going to be game 2 going over to Rifa for a 2-0 win.
Yep, and just like that, Rifa is through to the semi-finals. But yeah, it was just like, I don't think Aloria could properly deal with that setup, especially the lockjaw. Like we say, like some arms have different ways of firing. The lockjaw is literally one of those arms where you can just use it as a punching arm, but when it's charged, it fires off that projectile first before it follows up with the rest of the attack. So it's like, if you don't accommodate for the addition of that fireball, it really starts to add up over time, and it just, not only does it slow you down, if it hits, it hurts.
Yeah, the worst thing I think about that, the missile itself is like, you can send it one way, and then the head goes the other if you aim it correctly. It's like, it's kind of like you're fighting coil at all times. And it can be such a hard thing to remember how to deal with, especially if you are getting locked down by another arm like the Chakram or the Popper. Yeah. There's so many deadly setups with that scary face.
Yeah, because you notice, like, in the first point, it was the wind, that knockback, that was affecting Aloria, and then in the second one, it was the stun. So it's like, Rifa is very good with whatever element he decides to equip for arms. But
I'd honestly love to. I'd love to see a tournament where Rifa just uses the arms bot to go random arms. I think that would be like the funniest thing. And the thing is, we might not even know, because I think he's just got mastery of like every single arm. So if he puts those together, we'd be like, yeah, I agree with that change. I totally understand why he picked that. Oh, because the bot told him to. I see.
God, I might try and do that again at some point. Maybe just like do a randomizer tournament again. See if anybody would be interested in that.
There should be a randomizer 2 tournament actually this coming Friday that Era is putting on.
Oh really?
Yeah, should be happening.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'll have to keep an eye out for that now.
I would plug a link, but Era has not made the challenge yet. So
yeah, that's not easy.
I will say keep an eye on her Twitter, especially if you like tweets about how much she loves snack cakes. Alright, looking in, I haven't seen any more results yet from the challenge.
Now, at the moment, we've had news that Grimwood beat Panther 2-0. So it'll be Grimwood versus Shetty, Iceman versus Kozlina, and Yada versus Nihilus. So we're waiting on results from those three. So in the meantime, we can tell you what's going on in the underground bracket. Panther and Yoshi will have to fight it out in the preliminary underground round 1 because everybody else has their matches already set. Spiky will face the loser of Grimwood Shetty. Yam faces the loser of Iceman Kosolina. And the winner of Panther Yoshi will face the loser of 9, which is Nihilus versus Yatta. Lawyer and Akram are already sealed in Underground Round 2.
God, don't you love just looking at like your bracket when you get knocked down to losers and you're like, oh, no matter what, if I win my next match, I'm screwed. If I don't win, I'm out. Losers feels like such a freaking slog sometimes because all the time, I mean, everyone goes down there eventually unless you win through winner's side. So all the Titans have to fall at some point, and they just always happen to fall right into your bracket.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the absolute worst feeling.
And having said that, there have been tournaments, and we've seen some of these tournaments before, where we've had somebody go out in like round 1 or 2, and somehow make it all the way to Underground Final. It's like, you never know. You honestly never know with how Underground brackets work. Sometimes it goes as predicted. Sometimes it doesn't, and it's beautiful when it happens.
You know, a good losers run is like the story everybody loves to see. I mean, like even in like when higher level players do it, in like bigger esports, like dang, that's a freaking good. That's a good run. Like everyone loves the underdog stories, even if it's like the #1 seed. It's still an underdog story.
Yeah. Gosh, I'm reminded of the run that someone did in Smash. I forget the player, where they went into Underground, and they were 2-0 down in a match, and then they went, you know what, I'm gonna go Ganon, and won, and then did a reverse sweep, and then got into the grand finals with it. It's like, cool. that was a lot of fun. I forget. God damn it, the name of that player's on my head.
Was that Nairo Light?
Yeah, Nairo. Like,
okay, yeah, I don't follow Smash very often,
yeah.
But if I hear about good Ganon play, I have to see that set.
Yeah, Nairo was 2-0 down and then decided to switch to Ganon and then went 3-2 in it. It was one of the more ridiculous things I've ever seen, and the commentators lost their mind. You know it's good when you remember the commentary for it, and it's just like, yeah, they just literally just like they stopped using words towards the end.
Good commentary like transcends like language. It's amazing. Like one of my favorite like commentary moments of all time. I have no idea what they were saying. It was some like Chinese or like Japanese like Dota tournament or something. But the guy just starts yelling. Like, you get hyped when you just start hearing pentakill, 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 and I'm like, I don't know what anything else you're saying is, but I understand your screams.
Gosh. Oh gosh, and Rocket League had something like that as well, like a good couple years back in the finals, where it was just like Dignitas versus NRG, where it just went to match 7 after the reset.
What the heck? Hold on. Kosa just 2-0'd Iceman.
What?
What the heck?
What?
Kosa,
How did this happen?
What is this? What is going on? Is this bracket okay today?
What?
Did anyone tell this bracket how seeding is supposed to work?
To give you an idea of the big shock for this, so Iceman finished 2nd in Arms Challenge 30, then Iceman won Arms Challenge 31, that was last week, and the reigning champion is in the underground bracket already. What?
Yeah, literally round 2, and he's gonna go fight Yam, which could be a hard match. Iceman might get out in round 2.
What were we just saying? What were we just saying?
Iceman might go 0-2 in this tournament. Like I said, everybody loves an underdog story. What the heck?
Oh my word. This...
Kosa, you're freaking crazy.
Wow.
Like, yeah, Kosa's been on the come up. Kosa's never done poorly. But to beat Iceman 2-0, like, what were the round scores?
Oh my god, Shenny's out! What?
Guys, you know what? 7 a.m. might not have been a bad time to wake up today. I think I'm okay with this now.
The two winners of the last two ARMS events that I've casted are both in the underground bracket.
Guys. What? It's a shame we can't watch these matches because I really want to see how Iceman Yam goes. I really want to see like Aloria Akram. These are good matches down here.
God.
But these are death matches. If you make even a single slip up, you're out. Think about. Oh man, I hope Iceman doesn't freeze up. That pun was not intentional, but I'm totally rolling with it. What the Kosa? That's all I really have to say right now is Kosa.
How does this happen? Oh my... I don't even know what else to say here, apart from, yes, we're...
I think Yam said it best in his arena when he said, "I wasn't expecting to see you so soon." I don't think anyone expected Iceman to lose his very first match of the day.
Wow.
Holy crap.
And yeah.
This could be like ARMS history in the making.
It really could, because boy, if we can... I mean, Riffa is still in the above bracket, so, you know, it hasn't gone completely off the rail yet.
No, but I swear, this challenge is gonna update and Yetta is gonna go down to fight Yoshi next. And then Yoshi's gonna take that one. And I'm gonna cry. This is just nuts.
Wow. Okay, so...
If we had predictions open, everyone's bracket would be shattered.
Oh yeah. For sure, if you... Like, I saw this bracket and went, oh yeah, I'm gonna see, like, a few of these names going towards the final, like, oh, easily. And suddenly, nope. I think all of that went out the way.
Well, I hope this is spicing up your guys' Sunday, because it sure is a good start to mine. Holy crap! I wish we could have seen that on Tournament.
I would have absolutely loved to have seen that, because wow. Like, Kozalina has been knocking on the door. Nillis has knocked out Yada.
I was kidding, Nihilus. What the heck?
Yada is also in underground bracket. What is happening?
I was joking.
The only one who got through that was Ritha. So the two winners, one of the odds-on favourites, and Aloria have all dropped to underground bracket. No wait! I just realised what that meant. The two people who got buys went down.
Yeah, I think Riffa might have had a buy as well.
Yeah, Riffa had a buy. Riffa was the only one who didn't.
So, two matches nobody was expecting to see on stream today. Kosa, Grimwood, Nihilus, Riffa. This is your winner semis. This is somewhere between... No, this is either 100% cursed or 100% blessed, and I don't know which side this is. This is someone's favorite timeline and someone's absolute worst one. We live in a freaking society, guys.
Alright, so let's just reset this from the beginning now, shall we? So we're going to take predictions on how these next two fights are going to go, because all bets are now officially off now. Yeah, all bets are officially off.
You can... One person's gonna bet for Kosa, the other person's betting for Grim, and both of them are still wrong somehow. That's just how this is going today.
It'll go to the final match, and it'll be a draw or something.
We're gonna get double KO after double KO after double KO, and we're gonna be here for years. This is purgatory, folks. Welcome to it.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah. Our next match is going to be the first semi-final. It will be between Cossalina and Grimwood, and I can't even begin to tell you that this was the semi-final I was not expecting to see. Bearing in mind, okay, so yeah, Grimwood finished second last week, so it was Iceman, Grimwood, and Junior. Obviously, Junior not in this week, and Iceman now in underground bracket. So this is the perfect time for Grimwood to pull this out the bag and make it to winners. Having said that, Kozalina has been knocking on the door for the past few tournaments. She's been consistently going either second or third. She had a bit of a blip last time out, but otherwise, she's slowly getting there. So this...
I think she more than made up for it this tournament. I think you totally reclaimed your momentum if you take out Iceman. Bracket machine broke. Understandable. Have a nice day.
Pretty much. So, naturally, Kozalina normally coming in with Twin Tail and immediately gets that grab on our beefy boy.
Good anti-brass set here, honestly. I really like it a lot. The only thing that kind of worries me is that Tri-Bolt against Grimwood, because there's so many times that he's buffed. There's almost never a time he's not a big boy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, right now, actually, he does debuff, but it's not going to matter as he goes for his rush with the jump in. Gonna get buffed up after the fact. Kosa does take a hefty amount of damage, but not knocked down. Grimwood not able to get his buff up, and hopefully Kosa with his Tri-Bolt will be able to pressure him for a while.
Yeah, but he keeps falling into these blasts. Unfortunately, the explosions are really picking them, but finally gets a rush of their own. 225, but still a long way to go to get Grimwood back down to that critical condition. But punishes the overuse of the shield.
God, yeah, Kosa's doing some techniques I really like to see with some aura cancels. And now with a Tri-Bolt stun, has knocked Grimwood into Red Dad Redemption. Just has to be very careful right now. Any hit will kill. Oh, very lucky that the Tri-Blast didn't connect the right way, but the grab is going to be what ends that round for Kosa.
Yeah.
Grimwood taking it, but with just barely any health left.
Yeah, that was very, very close, but unfortunately went straight into that grab. That was... Wow, that was a bit of a jump there on the gameplay. Hopefully that lag does not continue.
Changing arms by both players. Kosa has taken the Tri-Bolt out for a Thunderbird. Grimwood changes the Tri-Blast out for the even bigger nade. The Bane of Twin Tail herself.
Oh!
It's done right there. Not gonna be able to capitalize though, not at that range.
Yeah, way too far away.
Yeah,
oh, close to that one.
I could hear George mashing the rush button from here. He was 100% ready to get that off if he had the opportunity. Right, Kosa playing very patient right now, making sure that if Grimwood throws that nade out, she's got all of her options to flip around or just not go in the bad direction.
You know, and thankfully you have to remember that Twin Tail's wonderful little slow-mo ability does allow her to give her a moment to figure out what her next move wants to be, but that nade just hatching her from the side.
With that. Oh! Right there. And yep, there's George mashing that rush button again. Yep. Doesn't land the last hit though. Kosa able to block it. Grimwood is gonna go for a retreating grab, but Kosa able to maneuver and get one of her own. Though George is gonna clap back with another grab.
Yeah, it was
Kosa in the red.
Yeah, shielded too close to Grimwood, and just like if you do that in front of Brass, they will punish.
Yeah, Grimwood is such a big proponent of just shield, guys. This is why we don't, George. Because you just freaking grab us. Oh, whiffs the Thunderbird. That could have been what Kosalina needed, and it's not going to be able to pan out now. Grim is just going to go for another grab. Just shield, guys. Just shield. Okay, George. Whatever you say, George. Thanks, George.
And that, as a result, is going to be a first point to Brass.
Alright, let's see if Kosa is able to bring it back. There was very times. First match was a last hit scenario. That might not have been enough with Grimwood's armor, but who's to say? Health is weird in this game sometimes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, second time, Kosa honestly could have brought it back if she got the Thunderbird in the rush, but that arm really took a hit to its homing back in like the first few patches. And ever since then, it's never been able to soar quite as high.
No, unfortunately not, but that's sometimes what it comes down to with the rush. Is like, if it's just the one arm that hits, the other one just unfortunately whiffs, it's, you notice immediately, because the damage counter is not as high as you'd like it to be. Like, I know some people have the issue with the Slapamanders as well, where if you don't get that right, again, you very much notice.
Yeah, looks like we're gonna go to Mausoleum to start this off. No character changes by either player. Will Kosa trade off that Tri-Bolt? That's what I really want to see. No, still same
No.
sets. I think George does make a change though. He switched his Tri-Blast off for a Chilla. Not gonna be using it yet. Gonna go in for the double nade right here. One of the best characters with arguably the best arm and a twin tail counter. Kosa, are you ready for this?
Having said that though, if she can do stuff like that, where forcing this self-destruct on the arms, I'll be able to throw Grimwood off a little bit, and does go
Ooh.
brave! Dashed in for the grab and it connects.
Yeah, capitalized very heavily right there on Max Brass's massive body, but because George didn't have that channel to just navigate down, oh, Kosa, you sneaky, but she went for it again right there. Grim was prepared, though. Gonna go for Explosion confirmed, and does land it! That's gonna be 300 damage plus the initial 150, and a grab is gonna seal that deal. Very good rounds by Grimwood.
Grim is not letting this up at all. Just consistent pressure, not allowing Coslian to get anywhere back into that match. Coslian gonna come in with the triple toaster, and Grimwood gonna stick with, well, you guessed it, all of the explosions.
I almost wish Kosa would have gone for a chiller right now instead of a toaster. That toaster is going to be starting a rush chain for her. She's going to get 220 damage off of that. Parries Grimwood's grab. Good play. Retreats for a little bit. That does allow Grimwood to buff up, but he is going to be taking some stun hits and some self-destruct here and there.
Yeah, it was good pressure for Coslian. Grimwood finally getting her away from all of that. Needed that knockback just to sort of like reattune that momentum. Gets another good nade connect.
You can feel Kosa fearing this rush rate. Honestly, I think Kosa might just want to get Grimwood's face and just kind of take it. Sometimes when you're at health like this, it's better to just take that rush and run afterwards than just get pressured by it constantly.
Yeah, especially since that's another shield break, and now she's coming towards KO range. That's a grab. Now she's very much in KO range.
She needs to just shield for a second if she can. She does shield the rush right there. And despite Nade's explosive properties, it does not have the best shield chip in the world. Gonna just aura to the side, land her own rush. That is gonna put Grimwood into red mode. Gonna have to respect the auto deflect. Doesn't respect the auto deflect.
No, that's unfortunate. Kosa was coming back into that, but like you said, just a slip up, just the simplest of slip ups. And it's Costa, and that is a 2-0 to Grimwood, and Grimwood makes it to grand final. Not grand final, winners final.
Yeah, no matter how long you've been playing this game, no matter how well you think you know it, nobody ever remembers to respect the auto deflect. It's just an unfortunate thing that happens all the time. Why does Max Brass get to wake up for free? Yabuki said. That's why.
If all else fails, blame Yabuki.
Yeah, honestly, just blame Yabuki for, like, making this the Mario Kart fighting game.
I mean, it's like that in party mode.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Good. I do love, though, like, the design philosophy of this game as a whole. Because I watched a video on it that had, like, actual, like, documents from, like, development and stuff. And a lot of this game was actually inspired by Yabuki's work on Mario Kart, which is really interesting.
That's cool. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, like, the way arms were designed to, like, move around and stuff was 100% inspired by, driving in Mario Kart, because the way you do it is based on, like, how other people are going, and that's kind of what they wanted, so you can judge the space in between people.
Wow. That's really cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in the development of ARMS. I think the video was by Thomas Game Docs, I want to say, so if anyone wants to go watch that after this tournament, it's pretty readily available.
Alright, we're going to gear up for our second semi-final now, Nilus versus Riffa. We just got confirmation that in the underground bracket, Yoshi beat Panther 2-0 and is currently facing Yatta, and Eloria beat Okrim 2-0, so Okrim is now also officially out.
God, I'm eyeing that Iceman score. I really need to see that.
It's going to be interesting to see, but we'll have to focus on our current match here, which is the second semi-final, as Riffa comes in with Ninjara, as always. Nilus is coming in with the Cobra. Going to come in with a Phoenix and a Roaster, and you put your phone away right now.
I'm sorry, it's not even in the room with me. It's over in my bedroom. It's just loud. Oh, Nihilus is Kid Cobra. A lot of firearms right now. You could say that this Kid Cobra is hot.
The Kid
Riffa
Cobra
though is bringing a lot of pressure. The pillars are what Nihilus is saving grace right now. Riffa's not really aiming for them, instead just staying locked on his opponent. But honestly, Riffa could go for those pillars and have an easier time for the next round. Is able to get a 1-2 right there.
Yeah, keeping that shield consistently weak, and then when one shield breaks, the other arm starts showing weakness as well. This is really good pressure from Riffa. Already got news of the critical, just needs a tap.
How did he avoid a Kid Cobra roaster? Riffa, what the heck are you on? I know to try sneaky, but not sneaky enough to shield around the grab. Riffa now is actually in KO range of a rush, but it's not going to matter. Just a quick little blep to the face is all it's going to take.
Yeah, I thought Riffa was going to be in a bit of trouble there because they got punished for a bit too much shield, but ultimately got away with it in the end. Hardly any of the tubes went down, so I'm still going to continue on with this wonderful Slap Dragon combo.
Yeah, now that the tubes are still up, actually, and Riffa's bringing the Mander, that could be seen as an advantage for him. How did Riffa avoid that while being frozen? I'm sorry, what? Is EU Arms okay today? You guys are on some kind of weird crap right now, and wherever you got it, I want some.
Riffa comes back for one tournament and everything goes. Everything goes.
Can we ban Riffa so this bracket makes sense?
Hey,
can this be a movement we make?
Nah, I'm cool with this because look at this action. Look at these fights already, and another freeze.
Pretty cool as well.
Yeah, Cobra can be hot and cold.
Oh! Good parry right there. Gonna get around Riffa's rush. Nihilus is down to the last hit scenario. Does just shield the dragon and is now making his approach, but it's gonna be hard. This dragon is actually putting a lot of work in on Kid Cobra for some reason. Oh, Nihilus almost gets hit by the dragon. Goes for his rush. Riffa not able to get around. I think he was worried about being charged and decided to try to make moves.
Oh, and a good grab follow-up as well. That brings Riffa into critical.
Oh,
Nihilus is doing
comeback right now.
Yeah, but
Phoenix hits the side of the map, not gonna be able to do much. He is just trying to find someone.
Oh my god!
The dragon almost fires off. Riffa's got his rush.
There's just one more tap. There it is.
He punishes the teleport with the freaking toaster roaster. How did you teleport punish like that? That's amazing.
Well,
and Riffa is gonna be ditching that dragon. I think he saw that in the end, Nihilus with some kind of ultra instinct was able to just punch it in the mouth every time. And now he's going to switch to a little bit more of a reliable arm.
And just like that, it's all turned away. So yeah, Riffa, no more dragon. Just gonna go with that bolt. Not bolt, the blast and the slam again. But Nihilus's pressure now is he's just suddenly woken up. But not enough to block that rush. 385. Nicely done from Riffa, forcing us into the corner. And a follow-up grab to boot.
I was about to say that Nihilus was in a situation like this, but that wake-up grab changed everything for him. Nihilus not able to land his rush and just gets 1-2'd very handily.
Wow,
Oh man, Riffa reclaiming his momentum.
Yeah, that was
very well.
And that was a really quick reclaim as well, because you thought after that point that Nihilus was suddenly right in this, and then just as you think that, bang, Riffa just switches it on another level again. And hey, guess what? It looks like switching out the dragon really worked.
Yeah, that was a little bit of domination right there once he switched out his dragon. But Nihilus did very well. I'm proud of my fellow Riptide boy.
So 1-0 to Riffa at the end of that first point as we wait for the stages to be banned again. I can quickly tell you, oh my god, Iceman is out. The reigning champion of Arms Challenge is out!
No, what? Huh? Come on,
yeah,
what?
Yam has beaten Iceman 2-1.
I was joking, guys. When I said Yam is gonna win, that was a jest. That was a jest, guys. Iceman going 2-0 and Iceman went 2-0 in this tournament. I'm sorry, huh?
Well, you're gonna have.
Yeah, I think I might have actually stayed in bed because I must be dreaming right now. What the heck is this tournament?
Yep, you're not joking, and you'll have to put those feelings aside just for a moment as we resume with Riffa versus Nihilus in the second semi-final. Riffa's gonna come in with a toaster and homie. So a very different setup from last time round. Meanwhile, Kid Cobra gonna pretty much come out with a roast and a Phoenix.
Are we sure he's not running that randomizer? Can anyone confirm that he's not got like a private server that he's doing this in?
I'm sure I've seen him use this setup before, so I don't think it's a randomizer.
Nihilus bringing very good pressure right now. Gonna put a lot of damage on Rifa's arm. He is gonna recover most of it before Nihilus's wake up though. Very even health right now. The issue that Nihilus is gonna have is that homie rush can turn things around so fast, but his own rush is gonna make that gap widen a little bit. I honestly think if Rifa lands this rush, yeah, now Nihilus is definitely in KO percent. Rifa just has to make sure he doesn't bring himself down into that KO percent as well.
You never know, Rifa might try and hold on to the rush. Nope, actually just decides to throw it.
Never mind, doesn't even throw at the homie, just the glove punches.
To be fair, you don't always need to throw the missile, especially if you're pretty close to your opponent, because the blast radius on a rush missile is pretty big, and you do not want to be caught out in that yourself.
Alright, Rifa gonna be bringing another explosive onto the table, gonna be bringing out the Kablammer, and Nihilus gonna get his arm broken, has switched an arm off as well. The Phoenix is no more, and from its ashes has risen the Cracker.
Already again, that's with another arm down. This Rifa is just unrelentless here.
God, I love watching good hammer play. It's not something we see very often over in Austin. Seeing it over in Europe a little bit more is really great to see. I love seeing that rush as well. 345 damage. Rifa might still be on a perfect, or maybe a JV. I'm not 100% sure.
I think Rifa is on for a perfect, because I don't think he's actually been hit yet, not even for chip damage. Another explosion, one more tap. This could be the first perfect of the stream. If this can land, I think it is. It is.
Y'all broke me. Y'all just broke me today. I don't know what to say, guys. You got a perfect with the Kablammer. I'm done. I don't have the mental fortitude for this. I don't have the capacity. I have a goldfish brain to start, but I do not have the RAM for this, y'all.
Alright, so we've got a lot of updates to ping you in with. So first and foremost, Rifa is through to the winners final. They will take on Grimwood there. Nihilus loses 2-0 and goes down into the underground bracket. Eloria has beaten Okrim 2-0. Yada has beaten Yoshi 2-0, so those two players will go up against each other. Sheddy has beaten Spike 2-0, and Yam, yes, has beaten Iceman 2-1.
Guys, I'm gonna be real with you. I think I might be on some kind of narcotic right now if this was the way I'm seeing these results. I don't think this is real. I think you guys might just be figments of my imagination.
Nope.
This is not a timeline. This is not the timeline we live in. What the heck?
I hate to tell you this, but it is.
Oh my goodness, guys. I don't like this at all. I mean, I'm so happy for you guys who beat Iceman, but how did Iceman go 0-2?
Especially after winning last week, it just makes no sense.
God, I know the phrase is you win some, you lose some, but you don't 0-2 some. What the heck? Grimwood's gonna go in with a Popper Cobra.
And Rifa's gonna come in with a blast and an ice dragon as we advance into winners final. Remember, the finals are all best of 5, so this will be our first best of 5 of the stream. And really, I'm not too sure how this is gonna go actually.
Right now, it seems like Grimwood is the one trying to bring the pressure. Ref is kind of content staying at mid-range. I think at close range, while he does have Ninjara mobility, he also has Dragon lack of mobility. So getting up right in their face with a fork and knife is not always the best option. And I think Rifa is just trying the zone right now, doing it very effectively. Grim seems a little bit scared to come in, honestly. I think he's worried that the second he actually tries for a power play, Rifa's just gonna bim-bam-bop him with that rush.
Yeah. But
there's a power play though. If
yeah, nice, good bravery to go for that. But unfortunately, gonna get punished immediately.
He may be a little too brave.
Yeah.
Oh, but now he's gonna go for his brave boy play. Rifa gonna teleport, actually able to avoid getting janked out.
Yeah, Grimwood reversed very quickly, so I think they realized that it was a wasted opportunity and just backed off completely. And as a result, goes down to the point.
Alright, Grim is switching over to the flatback Cobra, the bane of fun in this game.
Maybe
he is pressuring Rifa very well though. This is going very well for him so far.
This with using the clapback and especially with the clapback, you have to be a little bit more patient. Thankfully, Riffa does have an arm to get around that in the form of the Manda. He's gonna get caught out with the grab, and oh, it's trampoline time.
Oh, this is, I can't tell if this is really good for George or better for Riffa, honestly. Because, like, the trampoline will lock Riffa into, tries to use it, but he's not going to be able to approach that clapback to get a better angle against it, and Grim can just move out of the way. It's honestly probably in Grimwood's favor.
So far, Riffa, well, yeah, as you can see, Riffa almost already into critical. And just the pressure that Grimwood is starting to fling in now, just jumps straight into Riffa's face, and then has the time to then go back on the trampoline and get some space as well. So, and there's the hit that they needed. It's a one apiece.
Yeah, I wish I could say a lot of that pressure was coming from Grimwood, but honestly, a lot of that pressure was coming from Riffa punching himself. Very unfortunate here that the Dragon doesn't really do anything to that clapback. It would be nice if there was a good way to get around it. I do like this change over to the Dragon, though. I think it's a better change than most people would give him credit for, since he can just try to drag it beside or under that clapback while the Mander is on that set trajectory, and Grim would just be able to avoid it very easily.
Yeah, and plus with the Dragon, I don't think you can actually reverse yourself with the Dragon. Like the laser will hit, but you're not exactly going to get the laser to the face. Rush comes out from Riffa, but it's not going to do anything to Grimwood. So now it's just a case of when Grimwood decides to pop theirs.
I think someone in the chat was asking about what Kid Cobra does. He just don't get hit. That's what Kid Cobra do. And then he hit you real hard. 285 damage on the rush. Grimwood, I think, still untouched. Like I said, this trampoline, very, very positive for him. Grimwood does finally take a shot to the face. Riffa's Tri-Blast able to get around. I wanted to say earlier that Ninjara himself would be a good, counter to the clapback Cobra, but with this trampoline in play, honestly, everything is out the window, and the only thing keeping Riffa alive is the fact that he's able to drag in his own Tri-Blast getting clapbacked. But in the end, the popper is going to hit, and that's going to be what does Riffa in for game 1.
So Grimwood takes the lead with a 2-1 match. Very good plays from both, but it was certainly Ninja's downfall the second the trampoline come out, because, you know, you can still do it, but it's like, especially with the clapback, it's like anything that you throw, if it does get caught by the clapback, it's straight back in your face. Yeah, so you have to take evasive action on top of predicting what your opponent is going to be flinging.
Yeah, it's like playing a ring around the rosy on a rope bridge at that point. It's so narrow, and you have to just chase them so hard. Alright, Grimwood, no changes on his set, none by Riffa either. This map is going to be a lot better for Riffa, though, especially because there's no pesky height, no height differences, no trampoline shenanigans to work around.
No bouncy things for Cobra to just be like, hey, you want to go on that? Nope.
Yeah, the only bouncy thing is Cobra's movement in and of himself right now. I think these pillars are going to be an interesting place for them to play around. Grimwood could just throw out his clapback, go behind a pillar, and kind of live there for a while. So I think Riffa wants to get these pillars down if he can. Does get an ice chain starting, only able to get 80 off of it, but then does capitalize with a juggle on Grimwood with that Tri-Blast.
I think Riffa's going to try and go for it. Riffa's trying to go for a perfect at this rate.
Ooh, he's going for the rush right here. The hell worked for the clapback in the middle of the rush? Huh? How did he get shield up in time? How did he stop punching long enough to just phase through that? Riffa, he is going for this perfect. He might get this perfect.
No, he doesn't.
Never mind. Commentator's curse. Ha
but again, the second he got hit, he just immediately responded with, "Oh yeah, I was going for that," and just smacks you in the face with another bolt.
Riffa is going to be starting on the top platform here. This is a very good position for him to start at, since now with his jump, he can just go up into the sky, let the dragon angle itself down at Grimwood, and hopefully blep above the clapback. But with the size of that thing, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it could stop like an incoming nuclear missile. That thing is ginormous.
And so far, Cobra's actually getting a decent start on their end as well. All the pillars are now down, so no more hiding. And Cobra's actually making the best of this so far.
Yeah, Riffa is very much intentionally trying to stay at the top of that platform. Grim goes for the rush. I think he back would just rush out, but his arm still had to retract first. So
Yeah.
he was not able to capitalize on anything. Just a little bit of a misplay right there. But it could cost him quite a big health swing.
Yeah. Thankfully, Riffer's grab just bounced off the floor in front of him. So no grab this time round, and arm weak on the right side.
Grimwood is getting hit by a lot of these Tri-Blasts. Actually not able to capitalize.
Yeah.
The clapback was just too far away and he couldn't make it up front. The clapback cancel in time. Riffa going for another one of those rushes. Able to get one up since he just took Grimwood's. Grim now in similar health to Riffa, but still at the disadvantage. He needs to make some kind of approaching play, but on the long stage of Temple, he's really fighting against a good zoner.
Yeah.
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 Right there, just raw and neutral.
Yeah.
Grimwood's rush could change things around, especially after a grab like that. But he's only got 12 seconds to do it. But if anyone can jank out a Ninjara, it's these massive arms. Let's see what he gets.
No!
Nothing, and a grab punish! And
A grab punish into KO, and just like that, Riffa will tie the setup one apiece.
Grab punish. Guys, what is Riffa's teleport game today? He's refusing to meet the same fate as the Titans above him. Good on him. Good on you, Riffa. Keep the dream alive. Keep some people's predictions up.
But you never know, Grimwood might be able to, might want to go for a specific stage, although I have a feeling that Riffa will probably want to try and pan Muscle Lean, because I don't think they'll want to face Cobra again on that stage.
Oh yeah, that was his that was his second ban. He's switching over to Mech.
Grimwood coming in with my main! Alright, come on then!
I know Grim has been playing Mech a little bit, but I didn't expect him to pull it out into a bracket. I also didn't expect this set at all.
Oh, hello. And we got the Scully. I was talking about the Scully right at the top, right towards the start of the tournament. Situational use, but we're also going to see the clapback as well with Riffa, so go for a very different tactic here.
Yeah, he looks very snazzy though with his matching purple.
Yeah, that's how Riffa works. But meanwhile, Grim coming in with the Chakram and the popper as well. So nice.
Okay, I want to talk about what happened there, because that actually could happen.
You cut out.
He put the popper, but he was in Riffa's face, so you think, how does he get that popper off? But popper actually deploys a little bit in front of the actual model of the popper itself, so you can actually get in someone's face who has a clapback and deploy the popper right through it, because it clips through the clapback.
That's ridiculous.
Isn't that crazy? God, blame Yabuki for that. That's freaking nuts, but it happens. It happens more often than you think. Ooh, good deflect right there. So Grimwood is going to get blown back into the corner, meeting a similar fate that he put Riffa into last time. But with Mechanica's amazing mobility, he is able to get out of there, go to a different corner, and just hold his shield against that rush.
Oh wow, and a trade! Literal trade in the center of the stage. Just Mechanica just sort of like runs in front of the clapback, shields it, and then punches through it. Even healthier, but it's Mechanica with the rush available.
God, Riffa's playing with no fear. Maybe he should have played with
Maybe it's just a
40 damage.
Yeah, and shield down as well. One more tap will likely take Riffa out of this, and it'll be 2-1 to Grimwood. But it's not over yet. That Phoenix can still catch you out. And here comes the rush, but too far away.
It almost landed, but not quite. And it doesn't do nearly as many hits on shield as it would do when you properly land the rush. So,
wow!
The chakram connects at the same time. And that is going to be Grimwood taking that game. We are now at 2-1.
Can we just appreciate the fact that Mechanica was sideways for the KO?
God, nothing marks a victory like planking on your opponent at the same time. God.
I'm just happy to see a Mechanica win in a tournament. That's all I'm happy about right now. And Grimwood is on set point. Would you believe it? If Grimwood wins this point, Grimwood's in the grand final and Riffa is in the grand.
Guys, are you gonna let Grimwood 96, the man whose freaking username comes from his freaking last name and his birth year, go into grand finals?
I mean, it can be done. Riffa is ready, and so is Grim. Riffa and Grim are going to stick with their characters. Looks like Riffa's going to coming with the different color Ninjara, so we're going to see a different set out. Yep, we got that Tri-Blast Ice Dragon Slam. There we go.
Probably going to see the Tri-Blast and Slam if I had to guess. No, actually, let's start off with the Ice Dragon. All right, that will play into the little channel in the middle of DNA Lab very well.
And both!
Great fast-paced match right here to match the rest of the tournament. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, these past two matches, they have been doing really well on the trade-in blows side of things. So, Grimwood again getting frozen, but Riffa not able to punish because knocked down themselves.
Grimwood trying to play behind these pillars right now. Honestly, he's trying to bait Riffa into knocking these pillars down. They provide Riffa with an advantage that they don't give Grimwood at this point. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, hey, just do this job for me. Oh, yeah, double rush.
Oh, they both hit!
On the ringside. Yeah, Grimwood had the advantage with the speed in the flurry rush versus the Dragon's mono. And another freeze chain might be starting up. Gets 2 ices into a grab. And with Mechanica's boosted 160 grab damage, that is going to be enough to kill.
And this is set point.
This is a bracket. This is a tournament that I've experienced, guys.
Oh, yes, it is. And Riff are going to come out with that blast. I'm going to drop the dragon. I'm going to drop the dragon for the Manda. And immediately gets caught out.
Oh, goes for that sneaky wake-up grab, but he's not going to be able to land it. Rip still had enough iframes. And Grimwood is going to try to poke or poke. That's a lot of P's in this freaking words. Grimwood has his rush up, but so does Riffa. They're just trading blows, usually at the same time, so no one's really able to get anything confirmed.
Oh, it was a good stun, but just, again, they were already behind the tube, so they couldn't really punish. And again, just stun after stun here for Grimwood. That's just, I think, aggravating Riffa more than anything. And finally drops in front of the blast.
And now there's 2 more pillars, though. Riffa is probably trying to lock Grimwood down behind it, because the last time he was behind a pillar, like 5 seconds ago, it ended with a lot of pain. It was not a good time for Riffa. Both of them have their rush. If we come down to a scenario, once again, Grimwood has 2 flurries versus a mono, but he's not able to fully confirm. The wind element carries Riffa away. He is on last hit, though. A charged hit or even an uncharged, I think.
There it is!
And there's the charge. That's going to be Grimwood taking this 3-1.
Grimwood is in the grand finals.
Guys. Y'all are crazy. I love EUR.
So, what a difference a month makes, essentially, because like I said, when Riffa last took part in EU Arms, Riffa won. That was in number 30. We're now in 32, 4 weeks later, essentially, and Riffa could finish as low as 3rd.
I mean, that at least would match his seed, but the other 2 above him, he's playing for them right now. They're giving him their energies because, oh man, all of the top seeded players fell so early. Grimwood is their last bastion. Not Grimwood, excuse me. Riffa is their last bastion.
I mean, technically Grimwood is as well, since Grimwood did finish 2nd last time out. So whatever happens, Grimwood will finish no lower than 2nd, matching the result from 2 weeks ago. But you can bet, after a run like this, that they're looking for that championship now.
Yeah. What was Grimm's bracket? Got overcoming Shetty and Kosa, who took out Iceman, and then Riff.
Yeah.
Grim, you're playing so well today. Your bracket's been tough as nails, and you've just powered on through. They will definitely take you down at the Salty Spittoon.
Oh, wow. So as we await for further news and development from Aloya Yada and Shetty Yam, bearing in mind the winner...
I think we're actually streaming those, if I saw correctly. Yeah, if I saw correctly, I think we're streaming those.
Next on stream will be all-round free games, so yes, we are indeed. So yeah, we are... Oh no, we're not. Aloya and Yada have finished, and Yada has beaten Aloya 2-1. So that also went to match number 3, so Yada had to fight for that as well. Ooh. Well, I mean, Aloya did beat Yam 2-0, so it's to be expected. Aloya really improving, it seems.
Yeah, that definitely a good sign of improvement there, a good moral victory. Because even if you don't win a bracket, seeing yourself improve slowly and surely, It's a very fulfilling feeling,
Oh,
even
yeah.
if you don't win. Especially if your last game, even if you lose, was still a good one. Like, if you felt satisfied with what happened there, it can be, honestly, more fulfilling than winning a tournament, even though I wouldn't know what that feels like. But it's a very good feeling to just see yourself improving, slowly but surely.
Exactly.
And I hope that this fuels Aloria to improve even more.
So, Sheddy and Yam were waiting on word for what's happening between those two. God, if we lose Sheddy, that would be...
If so, this bracket is just cursed. Like, some witch somewhere saw this bracket, was like, bippity boppity boos, you're all gonna lose. That was, it's so weird. It's such a weird bracket. I'm so proud of everyone who, like, overcame their challenges. I have to say that. I don't want to, diminish their accomplishments. But your accomplishments are freaking nuts.
Oh, yeah.
They don't make sense to me.
So, Yada versus Kozlina, I do believe we should be streaming that. I would hope that we're streaming that.
Yes, we should be. I just think they must not have gotten it here yet. Hopefully they have me added. I know Kosa for sure does. I'm not sure about Yetta.
Koza has me added, so... it's just like, because I've done so many of Kozlina's matches by default, so yeah, that should very much be the case. So let me just get this quickly updated for everybody. Remember, these are back to best of 3 matches now. And these will be best of 3s all the way up until the Underground final. And at that point, we'll then be switching to nothing but best of 5s.
Alright, they're going to be playing on Buster Beach for this.
Ooh. So this is Underground. This is Underground round 4, which, to be fair, at this point, I'm just going to put in Underground quarterfinal. Because it just sounds better.
Alright, for anyone wondering about stage, we are going to be going to Buster Beach for this one. So, we haven't seen this in a while, actually, if I remember right. I think the last time we saw, like, the very first match.
Yeah, like we started on Buster, and then we've rarely seen it since.
So if you gamers want to soak up some sun, just sit really close to your monitors.
Don't do that. Don't actually do that.
Get your vitamin D for the day from your blue light monitors. All right, Kosa is readying up. Yetta, probably gonna see the ribbon from Yetta. I don't know if. Oh, what, guys? Let me have a correct prediction. Let me have something.
Nope, not Avi. We're gonna have a Springtron.
God, alright, whatever, guys. Fine, don't let me ever have a correct prediction. God, there was, I think at one point, Crocal had a video of the top 10 Hamma mispredictions. We have more footage for that now.
Yes, we do. So yeah, this is going to be our first quarterfinal match in the Underground bracket. Yada with the Springtron with that Lockjaw and the Toaster. Kozlina rocking Twin Tail as usual, rocking the Tribolt and that Toaster as well. So 2 Toasters and 2 very different secondary arms.
Yeah, Yetta right now keeping up the pressure very well. Kosa doing some quick Twin Tail Aura here, trying to get a Tribolt poke in. But Yetta is either deflecting all of them or is just not in the way. He's doing very well about keeping his movement ambiguous. Like, a lot of walking, a little more than you'd see from a normal spring or deflect player.
Managed to get the EMP off without being punished, so let's just see Springtron just burn into all of that. Rush comes out, but Yada's just... Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Kosa is going to land that rush. Not for much, though. Only 65. Yetta slowed down in the end, trying to get a punish off on Kosa. Gonna get another EMP up, though, off of that knockdown. Long-distance knockdowns mean pain for you later. You're gonna go for another one here. Probably gonna get grabbed. No, Kosa not gonna take the time. Was probably worried about getting rushed by
Yeah,
Yetta.
I think I was gonna say the same thing. And already just being flat out punished for this. Yada's just up close, just because they know. They absolutely know that they can get away with this, but does get the stun at last.
Yeah, there's that punish that Kosa needs. Now we are gonna have to get quite a few more to bring this round back. But it is always knowledge for next time. And the next round is gonna start shortly with Kosa being down a round.
That is indeed the case. As we move on to our second point.
Kosa switching off to a T-Bird. It's going to be an early EMP by Yetta. In fact, locked herself into that orb. But it's going to be shortly taken away by that Thunderbird. Now Kosa has Yetta pinned against the back wall. And this could be a bad spot for Yetta to be in. Able to get the EMP up, though. Kosa's not going for any rushes or anything. Maybe a being counter-rushed.
Yeah, she's just allowing Yada to just get these off all of the time, which, as you can see, just helps Springtron with them. It just buffs quite a lot of things for Springtron, as well as being able to disable arms. But people often know that you can punish it, and Cosalina again going to go for the rush, gets it more successfully this time around, gets to 285, but Yetta still has their rush on hand.
I think one thing that Kosa is kind of falling prey to right now is Yetta is playing awfully straight on for a deflect character, especially in EMP Springtron. He's not really making a ton of use of side-to-side movement other than when he has to because of this Buster Bumper. The rest of the time, he's just choosing to stay very straightforward, only walking to the sides, not even dashing. Ooh, good. The Thunderbird capitalizes on that little bit of a scuffle.
Yeah, it was thankfully close enough to do the punish, but again, just allows Yetta to do the EMP, and they'll slowly start going back towards Twintel.
He is down by a decent amount of health, about a full bar at this. Oh, is that going to be confirmed? No! Tries the explosion, but the juggle knocks Kosa to the ground instantly. That's good attempting by Yetta, but not quite the capitalization that he needed, and that grab is going to even the rounds up. Kosa's maintaining rush as well.
Yeah, that played out wonderfully for Twintel in the end. But yeah, Yetta was... It's good to see it work, and it's often to see it work, but at the same time, if it doesn't, if they're too close to the ground, it's never going to work, and it just feels like a waste. That shot into a grab combo immediately for Cosalina. And oh, what a second immediately!
Kosa's still saving this rush for some kind of opportunity.
I think she's saving it for KO range. I think that's exactly what she's going to be saving it for. If she could get a shot there, that'll do it.
There. That's already KO range. Is it going to land? Not quite. Yetta with like 5 health. Yetta, can he bring us back? He got really unfortunate with his spawn position. Spawned on the lower side of this towards the hot pocket. And that did give him an opportunity to EMP, but it also gave Kosa opportunity for very early hot pocket play.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Yetta fell prey to. Just a straight hit.
And Cosalina will take that first point. And we can also quickly report to you that Sheddy is out. Yam has beaten Sheddy 2 points to 1 in the underground bracket. So Sheddy is out.
Did you guys just collaborate on this to make this the wackest bracket I ever saw? Like, what did you guys say beforehand?
What in the world? So Iceman who won the last Arms Challenge series and Sheddy who won last week's Scrap Star are both out.
God, what were their scores here? Let's see. Sheddy went 1 and 2. Iceman went 0 and 2. I'm scared. I need a hug. I need some kind of security blanket.
I mean,
I'm gonna cling to like the nearest piece of cloth to me, because this is scaring me, guys.
Well, we're into match number 2 in this quarterfinal match, and remember, this is a best of 3, and Cosalina starting off exactly how she wants to, gets another shot, gets another grab, and Yetta's on the back foot already.
Ooh, Kosa is making very good use of the height differences here. That provides Twintel a very weird advantage. She already can control the air by just existing in it, but the fact that she can get even higher now and flip forward at you that's terrifying. I don't think any arm can track up high enough to actually hit her on that top platform if you have the height disadvantage.
EMP finally up from Yetta, and that'll give them those buffs, and they're pretty much able to do that in confidence that Cosalina won't really punish it anymore. But still dancing around the pillars, punches through the grab.
Now you see any time that Yetta is trying to go, Kosa is just ready with a grab, trying to punish an EMP. But now Yetta is not really going for it. It makes sense in this close quarters scenario. If you get the EMP, it's very rewarding. If you don't get the EMP, you are getting rushed. You are just absolutely screwed.
And look at this, we're in the last 20 seconds already. Cosalina has a brief health lead here. Rush is going to come out, it misses!
No, it's not going to change. The pillar is going to save Kosa, able to let the lockjaw just run into that, just camping around. It takes 50 damage. Is that enough to make a draw? Is it a draw?
It's a draw! It's a draw!
Oh my god, it's a draw. That 50 damage set it up perfectly for the health to be completely even. Kosa is going to go into a rush versus Yetta with only about 1/3 of his.
Well, draw in the quarterfinal, and it was only the first point as well, so it's anyone still to play for.
Kosa is trying to make something happen around this pillar, but now Yetta is the... He hasn't changed his arm out, but he's using this lockjaw in a very different style, opting to use it more as a safety tool rather than a long-range corralling tool that he was using it as before.
Oh,
Kozolina! Time, and Kosa is going to get 335. The temple corner is a very volatile place to be. Some could argue even worse than the Hot Pocket over in Buster.
Kozolina just was like, spent an eternity in the air there, and Yada just couldn't do anything about it, and as a result, Kozolina was like, well, I'm up here now anyway, so here's a rush for your face.
Yada... Twin Tail is like the ultimate in T-pose, but Kosa is going to absorb a 40 damage rush, swinging the health back into Yetta's favor, and a quick deflect on a grab opportunity is going to be catapulting Yetta's lead even further. About half a bar separating them right now.
But that shock will do it. And that puts it.
Is going to come out soon, but the arm break is going to not let Kosa. Yetta has the opportunity, but he's got to get a good cancel on this rush. Kosa is dying to use it.
Yeah, I think Kozolina, if she can hold on to the rush, she will, but if she
tries to go for the Thunderbird. The Thunderbird could make the difference, but instead it's going to be the Toaster just shooting forward. Yetta dashes straight back, potentially trying to avoid Thunderbird or grab play.
Both will start this with rush available as we go to round 3. Yes, round 3. The first point was a draw.
Tosa's match point right now, too. This is scary for Yetta. This is scary for everyone watching. This is just... Oh, could Sans invade arms? Because this is a bad time, guys.
Oh, that was a stretch for that joke.
I'm sorry. I have to go for the bad joke. That's why I'm here.
Yep. No bones about it.
Oh, that wasn't very humorous.
I'll tell you what, it wasn't either. That rush connecting nicely done there with Kozolina. Yada couldn't do anything about it, and again just being peppered by the bird. Yes, they're able to get a couple shots in themselves, but that shock! Kozolina didn't want to throw out the grab just in case Yada came out with that rush, but able to get a nice little bit of extra damage. With 50 seconds to go with another, but the punch didn't land! The toast did not hit this time.
I'm surprised Yetta didn't just go for his rush instantly. Now Kosa is about to get hers in a second. Yetta needs to make this count. Is he going to survive this? I think just barely. Yeah, 10 health remaining.
But now Kozolina has a rush if she's able to play this right, but the punch... It's not over yet. It's still not quite KO range, but Yetta can feel the momentum slowly shifting.
An EMP with 10 health. That's KO range for Kosa.
Both rushes come out. The lockjaw hits!
Yes, it is going to kill. All right, another round, extra round for Yetta. Oh my god, that rush just wasn't anywhere close to him.
So yeah.
Did he still have EMP up? Was he EMP?
I think he still had the EMP up. I think he was still burning red. And the shock immediately from Kozolina will start it off in her favor. And yes, this is an extra round. Reminder, the first point was a draw, which is why this is not final round, this is extra round. And already Kozolina just trying to find that shock with the bird. Yada seeing if they can bait out that EMP, but that's not going to happen this time round.
I do love the way Kosa is using the bird, using it as a punish tool rather than a initial hit. Like you'll see a lot of times Kosa will punish a deflect.
Oh, and that's a full punish. The arm broke.
Though, actually, didn't get the juggle off of that.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate for Kosa, but it's still 300 damage. As I was saying though, the way Kosa's using that after a deflect comes out, not going to try to use it to get the deflect gone for toaster punish, but rather the guaranteed shot.
You're just waiting to hear when this next rush is going to come on. Oh no, the grab missed! The grab missed! How did that grab miss? You were so close to him.
Now, this is the thing that keeps happening to Kosa, is once they get close proximity, you think he or she would just burn the rush, but Yetta just goes for these quick toasters that get a knockdown, and Kosa's like almost reset in her advantage.
Yeah, and look at this, Yetta has rush now as well, and with 15 seconds to go, you're not entirely sure if this is going to go Kozolina's way. Another toast with 10 seconds to go, because they're both...
Kosa has all the time to make a rush happen. Is going to go for it. It's actually going to land.
This might be health lead. It's health lead. Kozolina just backs up. It's hers. Kozolina wins it.
No time. Yetta just had no opportunity. No time to get up. I don't think even a roll forward would have given him the opportunity. And the second seed is out now too.
Kozolina is through to the underground semi-final. And yes, you heard it right. Yada is out!
So that's what was Yetta's bracket score? That's a 2-2.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, I'm not even mad that I woke up at 7 a.m. for this. I'm not mad at all about this. This is wacky.
I just want to confirm what this bracket looks like right now. We've got Grimwood in the grand final. We've got Riffa in the underground final. We've got Kozalina in underground semis knocking out Yada. Iceman is already out.
She took out both the top 2 seeds.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, holy crap. Kosa
beat Iceman 2-0.
Run. This is the run.
Wow. If there is... You just don't know anymore. You really don't know anymore. And up next we've got Nillis Yam, so... all bets are now officially off, I think.
Yeah,
if they weren't already.
Loser of this is gone. Winner of this fights the Titan Slayer. This is a match that, even if you win, you're scared to go into.
Oh my word.
This will definitely be a good one, though. Nihilus did... Nihilus was the one who knocked Yetta down in the loser. So...
Yeah.
Oh, this could be... Nihilus could be riding quite a bit of momentum here. Everyone's riding momentum today. That's all I have to say, because Yam got in here by knocking out Shetty. There's no one that doesn't have momentum right now. This is crazy.
Yep, it certainly is. I mean, what more do you want us to say at this point? Because like I said, Yam... Well, to be fair, Yam didn't really have much momentum on this side either, because they were knocked out by Eloria. Nobody saw that coming. So, it's really anyone's guess who wins this.
If you trace everyone's bracket back, there's either a crazy upset that they got, or they got upset. Nihilus beat Yam.
Oh, that happened off stream. It happened off stream. Nihilus is taking out Yam, so Yam is out.
Another upset by seeding. Oh my god. What? How many matches haven't been upsets? I think that's more than at this point.
Oh
Let's see.
Word. Because bearing in mind that Yam beat Shetty to get there and then gets knocked out by Nihilus.
How many are upsets? Let me count the ways. 1.
So according to seeding, we had Eloria beating Yam,
4.
which was 11 to 8, I think. Kozalina beating Iceman. Nillis beating Yada. Then we had...
I'm counting 7 upsets.
Grimwood beating Kozalina,
8
which is...
upsets.
Jesus Christ. This is...
8 upsets, and how many matches total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21. More than a third of these are upsets. 8 out of 21. That's 38%. 38% of the bracket has been upsets today.
I heard you like comeback stories.
I heard you guys like predictions, or you guys must not like... I wouldn't like predictions after this either. If I tried to make a prediction after this for any tournament, I wouldn't know what to do, because I just think that I'd have like flashbacks to this tournament and just be paralyzed with fear. This is scary, guys.
So yeah, for those of you who would like to know at this point, and I should probably reiterate this, so... But yeah, as you say, Kozalina has beaten the top 2 seeds, and it's still unbelievable that that's happened. Nihilus has beaten Yam, who took out Shetty. No, sorry, Yam who took out Shetty and Iceman. So
everybody's just beating everybody.
Yeah.
If everyone except Iceman beat nobody. Iceman didn't beat anyone. Everyone else is doing...
Yeah, the only 2 people I think who didn't win a match were Iceman and Panther.
Yeah, are you sure that this is like the right name in challenge? Are we sure that we're speaking the right language as well? Because I feel like this is all like some kind of weird, like Iceman doesn't mean Iceman in this scenario, right? It means someone else, right?
Oh my god,
like,
that's still the shock to me. Like that initial shock to me when it's like, oh yeah, the winner of the reigning EU arms challenge is out. It's like that was just a massive shock. And then Scrapstar's winner from last week is also out. It's like, well, who the heck's gonna win now then? Riffa's in the underground final, and Riffa won the one before that. So it's like, who the heck knows? Literally, who knows how this is gonna go?
Yeah, I think even like Jesus himself is looking down like, ugh. Like, it's so bad. It's so hard to tell who's gonna win. Alright, going back to Buster. This seems to be a favorite stage of Nihilus. I think we've seen him play on this stage every time so far.
Oh, if only Yamabuki was watching this. Where did this madness unfold?
Oh god. Arms devs, if you see this, like, can we get a new patch or something? Can we get Arms 2 or something?
Arms 1.5.
Can we just get the bowling mini game that you guys scrapped during development? Because that was cool. I want that.
Well, right now we're going to have ourselves the semi-final match. The winner of this moves on to the underground final. This is the last best of 3 for those of you who are keeping track.
It's starting off right now with Nihilus in a slight lead, getting the first poke with that giant cracker. Though Kosa is going to quickly retort with a knockdown. Going to go for some aerial pressure with the... But Kid Cobra is too quick to fall prey to these.
Yeah, and the grab as well, because you heard the slow-mo effect just activate, but it was way too late.
Yeah, the other bad thing about that is the way Tintel's aura works. You know, she ducks down in the middle of that action. So if a grab is going overhead and she tries to pop up, she sometimes ends up just getting knocked into the grab just by merit of her hurtbox shifting. So grabbing against an aura Twintel can sometimes be one of the best things you can do. It's absolutely crazy how that hurtbox shifts.
And so far it's working beautifully for Cobra, but finally they did get caught by the stun, but they're only looking for one more tap, and that'll take Costelina down, with both keeping their rushes pretty much available.
Yeah, both of them are really liking the play on the ramp right here. Nihilus kind of took that over from Koso when he got evicted from it. And now Koso is bringing on the pressure. This is rush kill percent. Kid Cobra not able to get out of the way of all of it. However, he got out of enough of it. And now Kosa is down to the last hit scenario against a rush and a cracker.
And finds it!
It's not gonna matter.
She found it!
Gets the hit. God, I'm glad she's bringing that Tri-Bolt back because it's doing wonders for her.
And then she switches it out.
Great, cool. Thanks, Kosa. God, I can't have nice things, can I?
Hey, you literally just said that you shouldn't do predictions anymore. Here you go. Here's another example why. And another shot!
Oh my gosh. The Thunderbird is working out very well, though. It's doing a lot to keep Kid Cobra from landing in a safe position. If Kosa is able to time it to throw like at the very position Cobra's going to land at, that could be a guaranteed follow-up.
But she needs to not be caught by these grabs as well, because the grabs do damage, but there's another one!
Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, she didn't get hit by that grab, and now she's putting on the pressure. Nihilus trying to the slides to make something happen. But instead, Kosa is just going to get a Thunderbird, confirms a rush off of it. Nihilus down to Magic Pixel. Anything will kill at this point. Kosa backing off the pace a little bit. Nihilus trying to keep it as slow as it is, and he does get a grab out of it. Kosa, if she wants to take this, might need to up the pace, or just get a stray hit. Oh, this is going to make things closer. Hot Pocket plus Rush is a bad combination.
Oh, punch through it!
It almost hit, but she punched right through it.
She punched through the grab at the last possible second, and, well, it looked scary for just a moment there, didn't it? But Costelina hangs on for that point in a 2-0.
God, very close comeback, though, by Nihilus. Make it happen. But just a little bit of timing issue. Nihilus, though, was doing very good about keeping that pace at the end at a pace that's comfortable for him. Because I think that when he's faltering is when the pace is a little too quick. So if he's able to slow things down to a comfortable position for him, he should be able to do better.
Also, I don't want to say this, I don't want to start throwing stuff around, but you do realize if Costelina beats Nihilus, that will, according to the seeding, be another.
Has Kosa won a match without an upset? That's what I want to see here.
Yes.
So against Akram.
Akram, right at the start.
And that's literally it.
And even then, that wasn't a simple match because it was 2-1.
Yeah, I think that was actually Kosa's closest match. Not Iceman, not Yetta, but this one. Oh my word.
Alright, and I think this might be the first time on stream today we've had sparring ring.
I think so, actually. I think it's just been banned every other time. God, everyone likes fun a little bit too much, I guess.
Yep. Nothing fun about this. It's just straight up, no obstacles, nice and square, and you're not hiding away from anything.
God, look at the set right now. They're running the inverse of each other's arms. Phoenix and the Thunderbird. This match truly is for the birds.
Yeah, it really is, and we've got one guided glove versus one unguided glove.
Yeah, not to mention the Phoenix has better homing than. So they've traded their homing off as well. It's absolutely crazy in terms of sets, and I love it. Oh, that's a free rush. Oh, just going for a grab.
Probably
not
gonna try.
But...
I mean, look at the health lead that Coslina has. Though in their mind, they're probably like, well, if I can hold on to rush for 0.2, I may as well do so. Especially since I'm able to have such quite the big health advantage. But we saw how quickly Nihilus can turn that around last time around, but whiffs the rush.
Twin Tower just walks away slowly and just kind of. Kosa now trying to make the approach. Nihilus having a hard time maintaining a pacing that's comfortable for him. Kosa, if there's one thing I can say about Kosa, it's that her pacing is absolutely flawless. She never falters for a second. Even when she's in disadvantage, she absolutely manages to keep her pacing solid and tight. Is what she'll do. I love watching what she does here. Is she'll just like, if she wants to retreat, she's not going for a simple dash backwards and holding aura like some Twin Tails would do. Because that's like the campy Twin Tail, right? The way Kosa loves to do this is go in the air and aura cancel backward. And that's an absolutely crazy way to do things, but it's been working very well for her. I'm not gonna help her avoid that rush, or that grab, excuse me.
Oh, that's 3 in a row now, actually. Like, she's been, like, they have just been, like, so close to each other, and that was an earlier fall. Coslina, oh, and there we go. Finally slows that momentum down, gets a grab of their own, but yeah, 3 grabs in a row from Nihilus, and Coslina cannot be allowed to get caught on that anymore. Finally almost near critical condition, and Nihilus is actually going to get rushed back up pretty much now, so... Oh!
Yep,
that was a mistake from Coslina.
That was enough to kill? I didn't think at that range it would be.
That was a mistake.
Her up in the air, throws her back.
That was a mistake from Koza. Like, she saw the shock and went for the punch, but A, she was too far away, and B, well, Nihilus was apparently not far enough away for the rush, so one apiece, but Coslina will start with the rush available, but she'll need to be a little bit more aware this time round. Not let Nihilus get so many free hits.
Nihilus is playing a little bit more aerially. He's not going to be doing it as much right now because there's of getting rushed once he jumps. But you'll see how he's taking it to the sky a lot more, actually able to avoid the rush by just a short jump. Kosa punched with both arms at the same time, which locked her arms trajectory in place, and that allowed Nihilus to get out of the way, and now he should be in full Cobra Hop mode. And there's that timing that I was talking about earlier. It looks like Kosa finally learned how to do that.
Yeah. It's like, if she can land any one of those charged from the bird hits, it just slows Cobra just immediately. And, whoa, good catch! Very good read.
Matches Nihilus' trajectory perfectly, and he's just able to capitalize good rush right. It didn't get much damage off, but it did allow him to not take another Thunderbird.
Yeah, I think that was... People will call that a panic rush, but they needed to do that voice. That was just going to be another shot grab confirmed.
Oh, Nihilus is in a bad position right now. Get out of this corner. Kosa not going for a rush, instead just gets hit by the grab. No Actress Aura to help.
Oh, that'll do it. That's a KO. And guess what? Nihilus is out.
And Kosa gets another upset, everyone. Is anyone surprised at this point? Like, upsets are less surprising right now than actual victories against, like, lower-seeded players. That's stupid.
It does not change the fact that Coslina has just, well, came to a whole nother level this tournament, because, wow, the names that she's taken out, because now she has the potential to take out one of the biggest ones there now, because Now she goes up against Rifa.
Yeah, Rifa known as like the elder god of EU arms. Potentially gonna be upset Kosa. If I've been talking about everyone having momentum recently, but that's a lot of momentum going in with. I would be feeling pretty dang confident in myself right now.
At the same time, you also know that, you know, yeah, you've taken out all of these people, but you've seen Rifa just win time and time and time again. So it's gonna be scary, but if anyone can do it, Kozlina can.
Yeah, we'll just have to see if she's able to take the things that she's learned in the last few matches and bring them over, especially punishing jump timings. That's a big one that I think will help her out a lot. I think also keeping her pacing consistent. Rifa is known for having an oddly fast pace for a dragon player, and I think that if she's able to keep that pace up, she might be able to just punch down that dragon and go through it, or she's gonna get left behind. That's one of the two options here, because she is not gonna slow down. Kosa has never been one to back away.
Oh no, very rarely. So, just as a reminder, these are all now going to be best of fives from here on out, the Underground and the Grand Final. As we start with match number 1, and it's Twin Tail versus Kid Cobra. Would it be anything else?
Alright, both of them have one of their tri-arms on. But Rifa has the fork and knife combo that he's so known for. Kosa's sticking with that toaster that she's been using all match. Or excuse me, all tournament.
Pretty much. But needs to be careful here because she's being picked out of the sky by that dragon, but able to trip over that nicely this time around and got the ball to hit.
She's changed her playstyle completely already. Oh my gosh. Slowing down the pace of the match and doing it really wonderfully. She's playing a little more responsive right now as compared to aggressive. Like right there, that dragon shielding, that was not an aggressive play at all. That was a super reactive one if I've ever seen it. Though to get in against Rifa, that is a kind of playstyle you might need to adopt. Because if you're not out aggressing him, then you have to play slow.
Yeah, and already Rifa's just got so much distance between themselves and Kozlina that Kosa's having to really work overtime just to avoid the dragon.
Yeah, a lot of her mental like RAM right now is going into avoiding this dragon. Even at close range, it's a hard one to avoid. Just gonna break shield. Kosa actually, I think, dropped her shield in order to not let her arm break. That could actually be a bad call. Good instant counter right back, though. Does get hit at the end by a Tri-Blast, catching her with both the hit and the explosion. And Rifa is going to be taking round 1.
And here we go. So we're going to go into point 2. And I think Kozlina's going to stick with that bolt and the toaster. So I don't think either of them changed.
Yeah, the only time Kosa changes off Tribal is when she wins with Tribal. Otherwise, she keeps it. I don't understand, but it's really... Kosa, tries to go for a play there, maybe trying to get the rush burnt, but instead going to have one of her arms broken. The other one still has caution on it, and her grab is going to be meeting her on her wake-up. She needs to make a play happen right here. There's going to be the rush. At long range, though, it's only going to get 220. Walking up slowly, going to try to go for a sneaky wake-up grab like Rifa did to her. But Rifa's going to respond with his own grab. And, Actrosaur on landing. Actrosaur on landing saved Kosa so hard right there.
Yeah, just about able to get the shield up in time. Arms very much weak, but Rifa's momentum. You just feel like it's only just going to be another tap or two. But Kozlina's coming back with this here. Arm weak on the right side, so very, very cautious and has rush. Gonna go for it.
Is it gonna land? It is! That's such a long range rush, just a 20. But if Kosa lands one more hit, it will KO.
It does!
Rifa jumps into it! She just planted it there for Rifa to like have a little field day with.
I think Rifa must have thought that the dragon connected, that's why they jumped. But wow, there we go. It wasn't a double KO. It was flat out Kozlina's point. So we're gonna do another one.
And Kosa actually keeps the tri-bolt on right now. Rifa does have Kosa in the hot pocket, but he will never go on full-on approach mode. Confirms there with an uncharged into the rush for 370. That's a lot of damage, and I don't know if Kosa's gonna be able to make it out of this hot pocket.
This is gonna be a perfect. No, it's not.
Oh, no, it's not.
Yep,
Rifa,
my turn this time. And there's the dragon.
Ooh, just a stray dragon planted right in Kosa's face, and that's gonna take game 1 after a pretty good round loss.
Yeah. And River did not let that last point sway them in any way. Just came straight out the gates. And you know, Cosalina not switching up anything for that, and River just very quick to just put on that pressure again. And if the dragon really works during those kind of matches, like you just consistently saw River just have so much distance between themselves and Cosalina, even if it's not charged, if it hits, if the little tiny laser hits, it's still enough to just stall you out of what you're wanting to do. So,
oh, and Dragon has very serious like 1-2 potential capability, because at so many ranges at once, you can 1-2 people to get a good knockdown. It's kind of crazy, like, even for arms, how much distance that thing can cover all at once.
Indeed, so we go into match number 2. We go to Mausoleum this time round. And yep, River gonna pretty much stick with exactly what works. Cosalina this time round coming in with the Thunderbird and almost got a shot grab combo, but just missed the grab.
Now Kosa is playing a little less campy, gonna play a little faster, still not able to really get stage presence is the issue. Rifa, despite being on the back wall, is still the one controlling the match. Kosa just needs one knockdown to change this around though. The only issue she's gonna be facing is Rifa's got that rush, and that one has a very good time landing considering you can start with the Tri-Blast and then move into a Dragon hit. Tries to get it, but oh, Kosa goes style points! Tries to get a confirm right there with the Thunderbird. But Rifa is able to get out of the way, and is able to get out of the way of most of that rush as well.
Yeah. Solid chance for Cosalina. Cosalina knew if they tried to shield that rush, it would just break both the arms, so it's why they tried to avoid it as much as possible.
Oh, Dragon Cancel? I didn't know Rifa Dragon Cancel. Do a Dragon Cancel. Holy crap.
I don't think Cosalina was expecting it either.
Yeah, I know. For anyone who's not really familiar with what Dragon Cancel, essentially, if you have an arm that stays out, like a Clapback or a Guardian Dragon, if you walk into it, it'll cancel the arm being out, and you can instantly act out of it. There's absolutely no lag on it, so you can instantly go for a grab like Rifa did right there. Rifa has his rush up. Kosa's gonna get her soon.
Oh, punish with 10 seconds to go. If Kosa gets another hit, she's got health lead. She's got health lead with 3 seconds to go. If Rifa just needs to land it, that's it. Kosa takes the point.
Kosa does go back into that more defensive style of just aura camping right around Rifa, and that is going to allow her to take that round. Rifa switching off the Dragon now. What really screwed Rifa up there was when he went for a double punch with his rush and threw both of them out, so he wasn't able to get any tracking whatsoever. Kosa's going for the rush right now, but oh wait, that landed. Rifa did.
Wow, that was a really good correction there from Cosalina. The first initial one missed because Rifa got out the way in time, but wasn't able to react to the second one, and still decent damage, like I said, just over 200 there too. But now it's just going to take a lot of explosions from those blasts.
Yeah, when Kosa, oh, Rifa burns his rush. I think the throwing or the breaking of the arm really screwed him up. Kosa is going to go for the grab right there off that Thunderbird, but not going to land it. One thing Kosa is doing, though, that I love to see, if you notice when Kosa goes in the air and she throws the Thunderbird, she bounces it off the ground a little bit, so the hitbox is going to deactivate soon after she does that, but if she lands it with precise timing, she is able to bounce it up into the air just to slide him out and get an easier grab punish.
And she's got rush available as well. She's going to go for it, but Rifa gets out the way. But again, jumps into it again. Kosa is getting insanely good at recorrecting missed rushes. And that gives her the KO and equalizes the set. One apiece.
If I'm watching, I don't think Kosa's actually missing the rushes. I think she's just waiting to activate them. Like, I don't think...
Wow.
I think she's standing there waiting for Rifa to make his move in anticipation and then locking on, because the entire time that you're using rush, the camera's constantly correcting itself. It's the one time the camera actually like decides to be nice. So it's a very powerful technique to just wait there. The thing that Rifa is going to be able to do then is shield it, but with Ninjara being Ninjara, that's kind of a coin flip, honestly.
As we go into match number 3 then, well look, it's Temple Grounds again, and Ninjara, I'm going to stick with pretty much what's been working so far. Going to come back in with that Dragon, and Cosalina going to come back in with what won of that last set, the Thunderbird Toaster.
Ooh, good explosion right there by Rifa. Gonna knock Kosa forward, which actually could be kind of a detriment. A lot of the good times he's having is when Kosa is at a good range. These pillars are also going to be really good for Rifa. He's going to be able to throw that dragon out, camp behind a pillar, and then just stay there and let Kosa try to come to him. But the Thunderbird could negate that strategy if Kosa plays it right.
Yeah, but so far Rifa aware of how Twin Cell generally plays up in that air, getting a couple of the aerial hits, just slowing Cosalina down a little bit, and Rifa does have a good amount of advantage here so far. Dragon very much wide this time round, but a little bit closer this time. And now just
really,
gonna...
I think Rifa, if Rifa wants to get even better with these matches, he is in the health advantage right now. Better, I think what he should try to do maybe is do a little bit more teleport in stuff. If you see the way he's playing at mid-range, Kosa's adapted to it. Kosa's had all the time in the world to adapt to it. So if Rifa really wants to start confusing Kosa, I would love to see a bunch of close-range teleports where he just holds shield for a long time.
And meanwhile, they're both just... What's going on here? Cosalina is fully stopped here. What's Kosa doing?
Shimmying forward very slowly. It looks like we have resumed the match now. Kosa takes substantial shield damage in one exchange. Right arm close to breaking. A knockdown will allow her to have time to regain that, but with the time on the clock, I don't think there's any chance for her to bring it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, Riva's just gonna go for the jumps.
And there we go. That'll be a win via timeout. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what was going on there towards that latter half, but looks like it's going to be a nice reset going into this, but Rifa will have that first additional point, and we'll see how Cosalina comes back into this.
Well, Kosa is not going to hesitate at the start of this round, just going to straight aggression. Maybe a little too aggressive, though, and does get hit with 370 damage rush. Rifa now has a ton of health lead, is able to jump out of the way of that rush, too, and actually gets a 120 knockdown off the dragon.
That was not bad from Rifa, that was well played. Rifa hasn't taken any damage yet. I think Rifa's trying to go for another perfect, and suddenly this is very much working for them. They've suddenly cracked Cosalina's style.
Yeah, Rifa's been taking a page out of Sonic X and has to go faster, 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 and there it just went so quick and he got it perfect. It is now, what, 2-1, I think?
Yep, it's 2-1 in the Underground Final. Rifa is a point away from booking their ticket into the Grand Final and seeking retribution against that loss from Grimwood, but it's not over yet. It could still go to match number 5, you never know.
They're gonna go back to Buster for this, back to the beach.
Interesting that Cosalina's decided to go back to the beach when she was very much struggling with that earlier, but you never know, Cosalina might have a plan in mind.
Yeah, perhaps she found some way to up the tempo a little bit. That's honestly the thing that this match is coming down to, is tempo. Whenever Kosa whenever Kosa gets a good lead, Rifa is able to bring the pace of the match back in his favor, whereas when Rifa takes the lead, Kosa is focusing a little bit too much on reactive play rather than straight up aggressive, and that's what you really need to do when you're behind. Oh, now she's getting a bunch of tri-bolts though. That's almost half of Rifa's health gone in 2 interactions.
Yeah, that was a good couple of stunts from Kosa, but immediately shot back down by that grab from Rifa. And immediately again, just tries to distance themselves to get that dragon to use another good poke with the blast.
Kosa's positioning right now is kind of bizarre to me. I mean, it's working, but it's kind of bizarre the way she's just staying in Rifa's face. Like, if he plants that dragon, she'll have almost no time to react and get out of the way. But if she plants a tri-bolt at Rifa's feet, he has almost no time to get out of the way. It's a very interesting interaction, and Kosa is still not going for any hits.
Yeah, she's very much staying on that back foot, letting her gauge charge up as slowly as possible, but all Rifa just needs to do is just keep this kind of poke momentum going. They'll be fine. Like, the blast isn't quite reaching, but the dragon certainly is.
Oh, Rifa went for a good attempt at a punish right there, but the jump over. However, she really needs to get a hit in. A stun-confirmed rush would be amazing for her right now. It would bring health to almost even. Almost gets hit by that dragon, but is able to jump back out of the way. And she tries to dash forward right there. Goes for an unsafe move. And Rifa is able to get the poke on it.
Yeah, her playstyle is I feel like it's not aggressive enough.
Yeah, I agree. She's got the positioning for it. The issue is she's backing down from it every time. Like, she feels unsafe. Maybe with the tribal gun, or the tri-blast gun, excuse me, she'll play a little bit harder, but that slap also scares me for her.
Yeah, if that does hit, you know Riffa's gonna probably go for that rush combo. But
Yeah, plus
good.
It's pushing up against Kosa's weight disadvantage, and could go to the side where Kosa has no opportunity to parry with Toaster. It's just a scary arm for Kosa to fight right now.
Yeah, and it's just consistently doing slaps like that, and another grab pretty much takes Kozolina to half health, and Riffa again still has that rush available, and another poke.
Kosa is trying to go for some kind of a... But she's just not committing to them hard enough. Honestly, like, that's one thing you have to keep in mind, is if you're not committing to your plays... Oh! Riffa actually not able to... Oh!
Kozolina jumped into it!
Oh my gosh, the second slap, and then a grab to finish things off.
And that's
Kosa has finally fallen, but not without taking out Iceman. And who else? Iceman and Lost Grim, excuse me. Iceman and Akrim and Yada and
Nihilus.
Is that it?
Nihilus as well.
Yeah. That's quite a hit list from this tournament.
But yeah, Riffa showing why they're one of the best players that we know of. Once again, getting themselves into the grand final, just like they did in the 30th, not the 30th, yes, the 30th challenge. That was a whole month back. So yeah, just goes to show, they missed one tournament, but they've still got it.
Yeah, he is going to have to fight against the guy who knocked him. If he wants to get a bracket reset, it's not going to be easy. We might see the return of double nade Grim.
You never know. I mean, if anybody can do a bracket reset, it'll probably be Riffa.
Alright, we'll see who's gonna be getting the first ban. Alright. Riffa is banning sparring here. Even though he was upset, he is the higher seed, so he gets his first ban.
I mean, I honestly thought it would have gone to whoever was first to the final, but okay.
Yeah, I don't know. The way onlines work is, I think a lot of them kind of about that. But we are going to go to DNA Lab to start things off. Good stage for Riffa, a lot of room for him to work with. Grimwood is going to have to be the aggressor, but he's never really had an issue with that being his playstyle.
No, he has not. So yeah, Grimwood very much looking to write his name in the history books now, because again, just like Kozolina, the two of them have been knocking on the door of getting like a win of this magnitude under their belts. They've beaten Riffa already. There was a 3-1 set, so if Grimwood can keep this momentum going, it'll be amazing. But if anybody can do if anybody can do the comeback, it is Riffa, because well, we've seen him do it time and time again. Grimwood's gonna come out with a Springtron.
God, 2 Springtrons I didn't expect to see in a row. This does make sense though. Grimwood does admit that his Max Brass is not the best at keeping up with the faster characters. So going for a little bit of a speed advantage in a faster deflect makes sense for him. So he camp behind that pillar and try to get an EMP up. Riffa though just darts behind and says hey, and then punishes him.
Yeah. And Riffa knows exactly how that works. I mean, you know, a lot of people on this level know that there's always that moment where a Springtron goes for the EMP, you can just punish.
I want to just point out that Grimwood blew himself up by punching his homie into the pillar, and I find that absolutely hilarious.
It's like,
Speaking of the homie, though.
It's like, listen, I know Ninjara is green, but the tube is not Ninjara.
Yeah. Maybe Springtron needs a little bit of a tune-up in his ocular lens after that. But I want the homie here is an interesting choice. I think it's a better one than some might give it credit for. One, rush damage like that, 365.
It could have gotten more of that second hit.
Yeah. Second though, I think it's a decent anti-Ninjara counter pick. Because the thing it can do, similar to some of the slower runs like Parabola, if Ninjara teleports into it, and he backs up, he might end up just getting hit by the homie into frames where he can't act. Oh, Grimwood though didn't have time to act out of that EMP. A Tri-Blast gonna just catch his face. on his descent and give that round to Rifa. Gonna be taking off that homie, switching it out for a Chilla and the Popper.
Yeah, try and slow down this Ninja just a little bit more, just trying to freeze him in spot. But as you say, it is one of the weaknesses of Spring Trunks. If they try to go for that buff, they try to go for the arm disable, there is a period where they can be punished either with a grab or with a quick little punch if you can time it right.
Rifa gets some good hits right there on the Grimwood shield. They don't damage him, but they do push him back enough that he has to be approaching.
Oh, they got one!
EMP on Rifa, and that's going to allow him to let his rush for 290 damage. Looking like he wanted to refresh the EMP. Now he's definitely going to be able to at this range, plus the wind element. There's nothing going to be stopping him from getting buff.
Yeah,
except for 2 punches to his face.
Yeah, the dragon. Yeah, the dragon set up that 1-2 punch nicely. But again, firing back with another charge pop. And another one immediately after, and just like that, it's back to square one.
Popper is one of the quickest arms in the game, and because of its wide range, is very able to punish any dash in almost any direction. It's one of the banes of the deflect, so to be used as a bane of Ninjara is very, very interesting to see happen. Oh, Rifa lands that rush at such a close range.
I honestly thought, I honestly thought Tron had just got away with it, but nope, Dragon did connect.
Alright, going for an EMP in neutral there, not even behind him.
Yeah, it was.
Though, not going for the punish.
Yeah,
instead, he's going to allow Grimwood to keep the momentum.
On connect! Rush combo, nice for Grimwood.
Oh, Rifa though is learning to teleport a little bit more, getting himself stable. Get the punish on there. Some explosion actually doesn't knock people out of the EMP.
I very rarely see anybody actually knock the EMP before it goes off.
If anyone can do that though, it's Rifa's skill with the tiny explosive fork. Now he's going to be trying to move in. Does get a good hit right there. Actually confirms, I think, off of an explosion. He's got his rush, and he's gotten a Grimwood into kill percent. Maybe one more hit just to be safe.
And that's it.
Here
no!
Oh, no!
It's shoved him to the side. It's shoved him to the side, and here comes the rush from Springtron, but it's too far away. Rifa will block all of that, and Grimwood will have to do this the hard way. EMP is up. They've got 20 seconds to try and pull this off. Forces Rifa to the corner, an explosion happens, but still no hit. Rifa's able to just about dance away around this with 10 seconds to go. Grimwood needs, well, a miracle. Well, not that.
Takes a shot to the kidney, and that is gonna be what does this game for Rifa. We are now, what is it, 1-0?
It is 1 point.
Alright. I am totally unable to keep track of scores, even in round. Very good.
Yeah, I've got the scoreboard, I'm fine. So, oh wow, and they're both immediately back in. Alright, cool.
Alright, a switch over to Mechanica by Grimwood. Interesting choice. If you want to go for a speed difference, this is not usually the character that comes to mind. But he does have some elements, I'm sorry, Rifa does have some elements that will be able to deal with it.
Yeah, that was just like, that was weird how quick a decision that was.
Alright, Grimwood is going to get stunned and an immediate... Oh, despite Mechanica's heavy armor, if she's not doing an action, she does take full damage from things, and Rifa capitalized on that with the ice right there.
Yeah, you slow down Mechanica with the ice, and, well, I mean, Mechanica is one of the more faster heavy characters, just being able to slide around and charge while sliding, so it's a really cool thing, and obviously, being a heavy character, you know, there's not really any flinch that happens for her, but, as you say, it's still full damage, and that was a thing. That was a thing.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's perfect.
Rifa, you can't do that.
That's perfect.
Rifa, you can't do that. You can't teleport in between ram rushes. That's not how that rush works.
It is now.
Oh my god. Rifa is redefining the code as it goes on.
And Grimwood's now got to try and fight back again. This time with that, coming back in with that Chakram and the pop again. We're just going to continue dancing around these tubes. Finally goes down and finally gets caught.
But he is having to back off quite a bit, which is good for George. That means he's got him into a position where he feels like he needs to back off and retreat. But Rifa is no stranger to getting back off shots. He'll like jump in the air, fire off that tri-blast, and as he retreats, it'll connect with his opponent, stunning them. Though he's not going to teleport around this rush. This time, oh, actually,
What in the world was that?
Still, Rifa, are you just like hacking into the mainframe right now?
Yeah,
Able to get his own rush up. Grimwood was falling up to the side, but the dragon able to clean it back up.
Yeah, Rifa was just like, I think Rifa was like initially confused themselves as well, because it was like, wait, I didn't get knocked down, hang on a sec.
Can we confirm that that anyone has seen Keanu Reeves and Rifa in this room? Because I swear this man is matrixing through all of this.
Well, Grimwood's still very much in this, and Rifa isn't quite in a comfortable... I mean, they might be now that they got rush available, but Grimwood could still fling this.
He just needs to get a win confirm, honestly. If he's playing one...
Oh, there it is!
And there's the counter rush. Grimwood responds. Jumping over, Rifa now with a little bit of a disadvantage. Grimwood tries to go for the grab, but gets frozen for his troubles. Almost connects the 1-2.
Just about blocks it, but wait, it's a double! It's a double KO! Look at everything!
We get a draw in losers semis, and now a double KO in grands.
We have had literally everything in this tournament now. Are you serious?
How's your guys' bingo cards doing? Is it
The only thing we're missing now is a bracket reset. That's the only thing we're missing, as we have to do this point all over again. Grimwood will start with Rush already available, so it's just a question of if they're going to pop it before or after Rifa gets theirs, which is, well, there's your answer. It's after.
Ooh, the good thing that's coming out of this for Grimwood is all the two... So if he is able to aggress a lot heavier.
Oh no! Grim, that was unfortunate.
Yeah, just a little bit of a mistiming. Does get the grab off though. Rifa will just sit there and take it. Probably a smart play. Other than opening himself up to an ice chain. Rifa still on the retreat, but now Grimwood is able to get his pokes in with that popper.
If anything, it's like, oh, I didn't hit anything with the rush, but I've still got momentum now. Even though we're going into critical, Grimwood was actually able to pull that back quite nicely.
Alright, both of them have rush once again. Grimwood going for the overhead again. Not able to kill though. The popper has a little bit less range than the glove does, so not able to land it.
Oh no, and that grab.
Not gonna kill, but it's gonna be very close.
And Rifa does have rush. If Rifa wants, it's just a poke. Oh no, I wasn't close enough. There's a. Oh my God! How? What?
But it shield too early, and the explosions, 10 damage, is able to knock him in.
Oh. That was unfortunate for Grim. That was... Yeah, I hate to see that because, oh my God, they had the shield up. I thought, oh, they're fine. They're going to be absolutely fine. And then, I think I've mentioned this a good number of times in tournaments in the past, but people underestimate the explosions. They sometimes really do. If you drop shield just before the actual explosion hits, that explosion will still deal damage to you. And that's just how it goes. And it sucks because that was such a close match.
Yeah, honestly, the best way to avoid that, in my opinion, is using the rumble of the controller to tell when the rush is stopped. Because the controller will start going crazy in your hands until that thing is ceased. Grimwood's going Ninjara.
What?
I'm sorry?
Why are we... Grim! Why are you doing a Ninjara Ditto? Why? What is your goal here?
Oh my gosh, and Rifa has, both of them don't have the dragon anymore. Rifa switched the dragon off. Grimwood switched Rifa's dragon off for a clapback.
So,
I feel like I'm living in some kind of bizarro world.
So, alright, so this is a, both coming in with the Tri-Blast, one coming in with the Slam, and the other coming in with a clapback. What even is this tournament at this point, people? Like,
oh my gosh, did you guys like go over to like Amsterdam or something and get some good stuff before this, or like what have y'all been on? What was that?
That grab was that was a good grab.
Right, Grimwood's no stranger to using the clapback in tournament. 30 seconds in the trampoline.
Yep,
Alright, perfect, great, cool. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
We're going to see Grimwood have exactly the same time he had before with his Cobra.
Oh God, yeah, that reminds me. Yeah, that was literally how this went before.
Use the clapback.
But they're choosing not to do it at this point. They're choosing to use the blasts more than the clap. And gets a grab. Bounce off. Oh, just missed the trampoline.
If he got the trampoline, he could have ended that with a rush and Grim would have taken the round.
Yeah.
But it looks like he honestly might not need that. Rifa is doing a very good job of approaching though.
Oh, the slam just missed.
Yeah, Ninjara's quick speed plus a curving arm is allowing him to get in on this clapback much better than other sets of
Oh, and that rush will
is
confirm.
just gonna KO.
Yeah,
that's just gonna hit him out of the air. No way to get around that, really.
Yeah, I mean, the saving grace for Riffa here is that they will start with the rush and Grim will have to charge it up all over again, but at the same time, Grim has been getting some really good picks with that clapback so far, and oh, just like that, just immediately punched Riffa right out of midair. That's another grab.
Riffa tried to go into the trampoline, but before he even made contact with the pad, Grimwood got the grab off on him.
I think Grimwood
knew. In the air, his options were all gone.
And Grimwood just knew that is exactly what they were going for, and Grimwood's actually nearly got rushed back.
Yeah, he's been taking the time that Riffa has been bouncing off the trampoline.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, not able to get around the clapback. Still knocked down, but avoids a good majority of it.
Oh, just punches through the grab just in the nick of time, and another nice windy slap. But Grim does have rush, and Riffa needs to be a little careful. If they can land a few more of these knockbacks, they'll keep Grim at bay.
Oh, he tried to go for the man, but he bounced right over it. Only 285, but that does put Riffa in potentially grab KO.
Yeah, all ninja up. This is, and now just a poke is really just all Grim needs. But Riffa again does have rush. They'll need to make the most of this here as they bounce just ominously on the trampoline. It's like, come on, you want to throw it at me? I know you do.
Oh,
but the clap hit! It was the clap! Did he land on it? He must have landed.
What happened was Riffa started throwing out his rush, but because of the way flurry rushes work, there's a couple missiles that don't go very far at the start. So Grim was able to press the button before the rush actually connected with him, and at the same time the rush connected, the clapback did.
Oh my word. Hey everyone, I wasn't going to say that Grimwood needs to do a reverse sweep to take this championship, but now at 2-1, Grimwood could be on for a reverse sweep. This would be weird.
They're going back to DNA Lab though, which Riffa won on twice in a row.
And Grimwood is coming in with Ninjara again. Alright.
He's rocking the same set. A little bit different. Actually switches off the Mander for a Popper. 2 light arms on one set. God, he is just playing clapback. He's just playing clapback Cobra Ninjara.
Oh wow. Well, we'll see how this all pans out as we start in match number 4. Remember, this is still set point for Riffa, but I think suddenly they're being a bit caught out by how good this Grim Ninja is.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to understand why. I mean, he plays deflect characters, and Ninjara honestly does not function that differently from a deflect. You're missing out on the ring, but you're getting them even more mobility than you would normally have from that. And you can play a lot more aerially too. However, maybe he tried to play a little too aerially.
Yeah.
Gets hit by a rush, but not for much, honestly. Riffa's health lead is pretty substantial.
Yeah, Grimwood almost in critical, but a grab will quickly put it back down a little bit. They'll need to get a few more than that. The tubes are still being heavily danced around by Riffa, and I think they know they can try and keep this health gap as much as possible. The bolts bounce back, but don't really do anything.
This is also going to be a hard rush for George to land because of the wind element on the popper and the slowness of the clapback rush. He really has to wind confirm into it, which is kind of tricky, even on a big stage like this with the defined corners. It's because of how big it is. They could just blow away into the side or into somewhere you didn't really expect and just not be able to capitalize.
And with 15 seconds to go, that'll be a point. Yep. So if Riffa wins this, it's a reset. Which, at that point, we will have then definitely had everything. And both going to rock in with that blast again.
Grimwood trying to approach right now. Backs off, though, trying to find some kind of... And, oh, he does land the rush, actually. Only
145, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, oddly enough, it was just the clapback coming for Riffa, not the Tri-Blast getting a nice poke in. Now the Tri-Blast to Riffa, though, is going to be confirming Grimwood into a rush. Half health versus almost full. This is scary for Grimwood, but he's whittling down the distance between the two of them.
He certainly is. Clapback just fight over again.
I love these low to the ground air dashes that Grim. They're helping him go over the dragon. No, low to the ground. Grimwood just waits till the last second to go for the evasion and makes it work every time.
Another bolt here. I think just one more grab will do it for Riffa, and they've got rush as well. Just another quick explosion off to the side. Here comes the rush, but it doesn't connect.
I was so ready to call it. Oh, it does connect, but
only for 15. But it does mean one more hit will do it.
The dragon, though, he stalls in the air by throwing out both of his. Underrated mechanic of arms is using air stall, and he does it perfectly right there.
Oh, and the dragon hit
goes over the clapback, and we are now seeing the bracket reset by Riffa. That means we have potentially 5 more games, potentially more double KOs and draws.
Wow. I hope you like arms, everyone, because here we go. Grand final bracket reset. It means that both have lost once now. So we gotta do it all over again.
God, are we sure we're watching, like, the right EUAC? Because, like, this feels like we've stepped into some kind of parallel universe with upsets, crazy character and arms choices. Like, this is nuts.
Welcome to the Twilight Zone.
Oh, God, I've been locked in here by whatever the name of the guy who does the Twilight Zone is. I don't know enough about that old show. Man, this is... Let's see, looks like to start things off, Riffa is banning sparring. Grimwood's gonna take a sec to try to collect himself. Makes sense, understandable.
Yeah. Also, just quickly, shout out to the chat real quick. It's like Mirage is like, wait, a reset? I would have thought Riffa was from winner's side. You'd have thought that, but that wasn't the case because Grimwood beat Riffa in winner's final 3-1, which is why Riffa had to fight in the underground final. So this has literally been a tournament of. Yeah, it's been one of those tournaments. We've had Iceman get knocked out 2-0 in normal bracket and then 2-0 again. No, sorry, then 2-1 in their first underground match. So they went out without winning a set. Kozlina has had the run of her life. Yam took out Sheddy. Sheddy themselves were took out by Grimwood. So Yada was taken up by Kozlina, then Nillis got taken up by Kozlina. It's just been one of those tournaments. It's been like everywhere you look, something has been going on.
I honestly want to like print the screen of this, frame it, and like put it up in like Ripley's Believe It or Not. Because this deserves to go in some kind of bizarro museum.
It does. Because for those of you who want context, Sheddy won the Scrap Star series this week, and Iceman won the last Challenge Cup, and both went out before we even made it to the semis.
Grimwood is changing character again. The same set, I think, but he's doing it on Cobra this time. No fun allowed in Grand Finals, everyone.
Yeah, so it's 0-0 in the reset, and yep, it's Ninja Cobra. And Cobra, guess what? It's the clapback. It's everyone's favorite shield, and by everyone, I mean Ninja. Yeah.
Alright, Riffa though is getting all the hits in positioning advantage where he'll almost treat that Tri-Blast like a curve arm and throw it around to the side, or he'll just lead it straight on and the clapback just doesn't do it. Oh, Grimwood tried to use that clapback to shield himself from the rush, but the flurry rush is going to do way more hits than the clapback can handle. And it's going to give the rush to Riffa. Riffa on the retreat right now, but not playing cowardly at all, just throwing out punches whenever he can.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Oh. And a trampoline comes out of it.
So, I think Riffa has learned how to deal with Grimwood's ninja clap to the point where Grim's like, okay, yeah, clapback's gone.
Guys, how's your bracket? How's your bingo card going today? Have we gotten everything that can possibly?
I think so.
We got double arm break with EMP as well. Like today has just been a good showcase of arms and how crazy it can be. Grimwood is on the back foot right now in this match, though. Gonna get starting with the dragon of all the arms.
Oh my word! And just the distance between the two. Like, unfortunately, it's more Riffa advantage again. It's like anytime Riffa has the this kind of distance. And you saw Grimwood try to slide up and immediately close it, but Riffa knows that's exactly how Cobra plays.
Yeah, interestingly, before the when they went on this set, when the trampoline came down, it was all Grimwood's advantage. But now it seems like Riffa is the one dominating the pace of this match and making sure that Grimwood has to come to him. A good knockdown by Grim, but he's still not choosing to approach. Instead, they're just playing a freaking slap fight with each other.
Pretty much. Slack somewhere will be happy to see a slap fight.
Riffa trying to find a way in now. Grimwood does have... trying to dart in and out with the trampoline, almost looking like a JM Canada type of play style he's adopting. But it's just not working out quite yet. Grimwood is making full use of the Cobra Air Dash just to correct himself.
Plus, Riffa's running out of time here. We're at 10 seconds to go, and the health lead is on Grimwood's side.
Oh!
Ooh, I'm not entirely sure, and I think Grimwood also wasn't sure. I think Grimwood did not want to risk that going potentially against them with a point, or what happened to Costelina earlier where we had the draw at the last possible second. So had to use the rush. Riffa will be happy because they'll start this with their own, and if they can get themselves set up, you know they'll fire on off.
Here we go. Much more of an aggressive match to start things off.
Okay, Riffa, that was... Riffa, that was... Good attempt, but it certainly wasn't the time I expected it to come out from.
Ooh, this birch hug is cutting close to Riffa's face every single time. He is able to avoid it, and usually the dragon is able to knock it down. And now Grimwood is going to be the one knocking. Riffa goes for a bit of an early grab, but Grimwood held his knockdown and was able to avoid it with some iframes.
Yeah, Grimwood went right up to Riffa's face, and Riffa was like, no, back up. Here comes
there's the rush Riffa needed.
Yeah.
Did it so quickly too, and then the first...
Yeah, I was gonna say, Grimwood hadn't even charged theirs up fully yet. Riffa just got it straight back, which goes to show how much pressure Riffa has been piling onto Grimwood, and it's just gonna wipe out most of that rush as well.
Oh, Riffa doesn't go for... I thought he was going to go for a grab right there, but instead opts to just play evasive. Grimwood now on the Magic Pixel goes for a counter grab, and that's going to screw him over to get into position. He had to go to the trampoline, but Riffa responds with a quick little dragon onto his position.
And Riffa will start with the first point in this bracket reset, and, well... Riffa's going to come from the Underground Final to win this, potentially, if Grimwood doesn't do something about it. Riffa's already ready to get straight back in. Grimwood has a breather. We're going back to Mausoleum, and Grimwood's coming in with brass.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, I'm surprised he didn't go with what won him the first match, because he won with brass exclusively, I think. I don't know if he just wanted to experiment around and felt like he had a cushion to do that, or if he thought maybe max brass wasn't the answer.
Well,
not even going to double nade this time, going double roaster instead does provide a speed advantage. He is going to lose some explosion potential, but sometimes raw damage and power is what you want instead.
Yeah, you know, what character better embodies that than Max Brass?
Grimwood playing a lot safer this time. He's actually playing a little more Ninjara of all the characters. Goes for his rush right here, is going to jump in and land it. That's going to be a good 340 damage, and now Riffa is back into the red. He doesn't have rush quite yet, but he will get it soon. If he's able to get a freeze, it could turn this around for him.
Doesn't get the freeze, does at least get a knockback, but Riffa's still got a mountain to climb here. Does have rush available, but you feel like they probably won't try and pop that until they get a little bit closer to KO range.
Oh, I love his positioning here, though. He's playing so straight on, and that's forcing Grimwood to move side. Riffa's predicting the heck out of that, though. But in the end, Grimwood had cushioned his health advantage a little bit too high for Riffa to come back from.
Yeah, it was a very solid flurry. Riffa gonna stick with that dragon, though. Absolutely believes that it can work, although Grimwood, for the most part of that match, was just shrugging off that laser. Here comes the rush.
It's going to be 350 damage. Riffa not going to... Instead going to try to get a little bit of... That's what's really defining Riffa's damage right now, is his ability to rush. And once Max Brass gets to red, he's going to need that.
Yeah, well, just like with Springman, once Brass gets the critical, it just bulks up.
And Grimwood now adopting the head-on strategy, and Riffa's the one on the offensive.
Yeah, Riffa...
that ice quit change everything.
Yeah, Riffa did get the freeze, but unfortunately got knocked back as a result, and that's going to be another grab confirmed for Grimwood. Trampoline.
Playing very patiently. Maybe not patient enough. Guys,
yeah, jumped straight back into it again.
Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, there's the red mode. Riffa does have that rush. farming for earlier. If he's able to
Here
let
it comes.
this land. Oh, he gets the... No, he was a little too late. It's not even going to break shield. If he had just gone a little earlier, he might have landed it. He is able to get a Tri-Blast in off the arm break. But Grimwood is still alive, has the rush. It would KO. But Riffle was right in the channel in between Max Brass's shoulders and is able to get the Tri-Blast chip.
Yeah, that's Brass's body frame for you. And it's going to actually drop one of the roasters and go for a chiller now. So let's see if they can try and slow down Riffle just that little bit more. As a substitute for that little bit extra damage.
Rifa, conversely, has switched off the Dragon. He's got the Slap now. I wonder if he was predicting to switch over to the Chakram. No explosion cancel. I thought for sure that it was going to come out and hit Grimwood, but I guess the missile hadn't deployed quite yet. You see the explosion didn't even go off.
Yeah.
Grimwood has a slight health advantage, but Rifa has been keeping up with him since the start of the match. Tries to go for a grab, but Rifa responds with a rush. 175 damage. Rifa is almost about to go up to 2-0 if Grimwood's not careful.
Yeah.
Red Dad Redemption, though. Come back, Brass.
Oh, that's another good grab as well. Pops Rifa under half, and like I said, it's a perma buff here, and look at that, just like that. Rifa goes from half health to critical, and Grimwood does have rush. So if Rifa can't do anything here, he's going down, and he does! It's one apiece again.
Yeah, there's that change to Max Brass. This is what allowed Grimwood to take the set in the very first time they played. So I'm surprised it took him this long to come out early, but now that it's out there, it's probably going to be out here for a while.
Yeah, strap yourselves in, everyone. It's going to still be quite the long ride as we get ready for match number 3. Bearing in mind, none of the best of 5s have actually gone to match number 5 yet. It's always been match 4 that we seem to have gone to today, so I'm not saying it could still happen. It's the only thing we haven't seen, but it could still happen.
They're going to elect to go over to Buster Beach. Surprising, because this is considered a very good stage for Max Brass. In Japan, they banned the stage because of how powerful Pega was on it. So I
good old Japan.
This judgment.
Well,
but the thing about this is, I've seen this a lot when Twin 5-0 is playing on this stage. It's almost like you're playing on MOBA, playing against a dragon on this, because you have to pick a lane, and no matter which one you go into, you're either beating a Tri-Blast or a dragon. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, we'll see if Ninjara can indeed prove Japan wrong and show that you can indeed go up against this against Bass, but we'll see. Grimwood holding their own at the moment, slowed down by the dragon.
Ooh, and it seems like Rifa is mixing up not only the timing of his, but also the positioning of that. We saw him drop it right below a roaster earlier. Now he's gonna have to go for some more aerial punches, but on off probably, or just straight on the ground. Straight on the ground works too, I guess. Ooh, that stuck to the ground a little too.
Yeah, that grab will seem fine, especially with Brass. And that's gonna be a simultaneous rush, and unfortunately, that was a bad move from Rifa. Grimwood was always gonna have an advantage there.
Oh, gets a dragon poking and a bunch of tribal there. It's so interesting to see like how effective it can be when you do get a bunch of little damages in there, how far it pushes the heavies back. Unfortunately, Buster is pretty tight on this part of the map, and Grimwood goes almost nowhere, allowing him to jump in and get the chilla.
Yep, and as we go over to point 2, neither character switching anything up again, and that's going to be an immediate grab from Brass.
Yeah, Rifa already down to 3/4 of his health. Grimwood is taking a substantial chip, though. It is going to take a bunch from Rifa's rush. He does have one of his own, but he's starting at half within the first 20 seconds of the match. Stalls out around the dragon, though. The echo allows him to hang up above the dragon, and it's not going to be a freeze from him. Instead, Rifa is going to come down to his level.
Yep, but again, just trying to keep up all of that range pressure. Grimwood already into critical, so up comes the buff. Rifa just about underneath half, but we've seen how quickly that could just drain away. And another quick 1-2 on top of that freeze. Rifa can't really afford to take another couple punches like that, especially both having rushes available. The blast will do nothing. That's another chill. That's a rush. That's a rush.
Oh, that's actually, yeah, Grimwood. Oh, that's great. I thought maybe his rush was going to cancel out before he could jump out of the way, but instead, he's able to capitalize on the ending of Rifa's rush and gets some flurries in before the lag ends.
So, here's how we are at the moment. Grimwood could once again do another 2-1 against Riffa. But if Riffa wins this point, then for the first time today, we're going to match number 5. Which, at the end of a bracket reset, of course it had to happen. But we'll see. We will absolutely see. And what stage are we going to, Hammer?
We're going to Mausoleum, which Grimwood just won against Riffa on, so I'm kind of surprised he didn't pick to, like, Scrapyard or something. That's the stage I would have pegged Riffa gonna pick. But instead he just goes back to the Mummy Circle.
Well, we're gonna see if they're gonna regret that. So remember, this is pretty much winner. Well, it's not quite winner takes all yet, but for Grimwood it most certainly is.
Alright, Riffa is gonna start. He's getting a lot more charge. Taking more time to stay in place, capitalize on the fact that when you dash, you get a bunch of charge for
Oh
movement.
my
And
word.
his rush is already almost there. Grimwood is able to get a grab though. It looked like it might have got out, but not quite.
I think they were getting it. I think they're slowly starting to realize that Riffa's going for these very quick slaps. Just catching him out right at the start, and now catches Riffa out with 2 very good grabs of their own.
And the thing is, Grimwood is jumping into the direction of the slaps too, but Max Brass has such powerful thighs that he's able to just go in the same direction and still avoid getting hit at a bad angle. Grimwood has the health advantage right now, and he's able to maintain this buff up. Even if he goes into red mode, he should be able to bring things to his victory.
That all, but it does depend on whether or not Riffa wants to try and get off a KO on the rush. I'm gonna try and hold it in for point 2. Both now in critical, and that's gonna it didn't connect! It didn't connect!
How did it go? How did it?
I don't believe that the grab actually connected. Rush is gonna come out, and Grimwood gets the punch.
Yeah.
My word. So, that grab... Oh wow, that grab was way closer than I thought any of us thought, including Riffa. That, you hate to see it. It does mean that this is championship point for Grimwood if he can win this. Riffa has it all to do. That's 3. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. That's 6.
Did Riffa drop the controller?
He's dropped. He's given up. I think Riffa's given up.
No, he's still in this. Is he going now after the ice chase
What?
ends? He just won a challenge.
And there it is.
Maybe he should have started moving before. He took 7 ice chains. What did I just watch?
Oh my word. Grimwood wins the EU Arms Challenge Series, the 32nd entry, and quite possibly one of the most spectacular entries we have ever had.
Oh my word. And of course it ends on an upset.
Well,
Why would it not?
it ended on an upset that I felt like was starting to slip away from that, because Riffa managed to force the reset, winning 3-1, and Grimwood managed to find a way. Switching to Max Brass was the answer. And it's another 3-1 in the favor of Grimwood. We don't see a match 5. It's the only thing we didn't see this tournament was a match 5 in a best of 5. But we literally had all of the upsets, the comebacks, the underdog stories. We had a double KO and a draw. Just
literally everything we mentioned is like, oh, this would be happen. Like, what? I know some people's play style is like, oh, it'd be funny if this happened. Why was that today's tournament? Why was today's tournament just the biggest freaking clowning of the century?
wow.
I love it.
Like
I love it.
Like, you could literally go to anyone and ask of all, like, what you would expect to see in a tournament, and you would probably be told, this would be a rare occurrence, but there's no way all of this will happen in one tournament.
Yeah.
We had that.
Yeah, if this was printed out and shown to someone, they'd be like, yeah, I don't know about that. But it happened. It was on. It's documented. There's video evidence that today was just crazy.
But I'll tell you what, it does mean the top 3 for this is pretty damn awesome, because, well, Riffa's still in there. Riffa from the 30th one obviously won that one. This time around they finished second. Iceman and Okrim they're not even in the top 3. Iceman isn't in top 3 at all, having won it last time out. And neither is Junior, because Junior didn't enter. So the top 3 this time round goes Grimwood as your winner, Riffa finishes 2nd, and Kozolina finishes 3rd. And I cannot believe that the numbers 1 and 2 seeds aren't in the top 3.
God, like, shoutouts to everybody who overcame the people who were seated higher than them. Like, I want to say this tournament had, like, a Cinderella moment, but everybody had their own...
Yeah, just to
like,
clarify...
everyone was amazing.
Just to clarify, the seeds that made it in the top 3 were seeded number 4, seeded number 3, and seeded number 8. Kozolina was seeded 8!
Yeah, Kosa was predicted to, like, not go very far at all, and...
I could tell you, having seen Kozolina play for like the past month or so, that she's been quite consistently average in the top 3. The fact that she's a seeded 8th going into this, well, there you go. She's very much a top 3 player.
Yeah, no, I think stuff's gonna change the next time around. Oh my gosh, I think a lot's gonna change the next time around.
Wow, that has been amazing. So, Hammer, thank you very much for joining us.
Oh my gosh, you guys broke me with this tournament, but I'm glad.
We broke you halfway through the tournament.
You broke me after losers round 2. I just collapsed. Oh my word. But I'm glad I could make it out to this. Thank you, Nihilus, for inviting me to this, and thank you for having me on this.
Oh, it's absolutely no problem at all. Oh my gosh. Hopefully you've all enjoyed it. I know we most certainly have. I've been Smashy Kanjo. This has been the EU Challenge Series number 32. If you would like to check out everything else we do, let me just bring up back to our lobby. You can see all of our social media stuff in the bottom corner. We've got a Twitter, the YouTube, obviously here on Twitch, and then we've also got our Discord, which I think just got linked into the chat. Thank you very much, Nihilus, for that. Remember that these challenge cups, they run every 2 weeks, so number 33 will be in 2 weeks time, I do believe. Obviously they're normally at this kind of time, 2 PM BST, which for Hammer is like 7 in the morning.
Oh yeah, no, I'm crashing as soon as the stream goes down.
Yeah, I do not blame you. So yeah, thank you all so much for joining. Thank you to everybody who took part. It's been an absolute blast. And as always, we'll hopefully see you next time. Stay fresh.